saving your hard-earned money in a safe place. But there's a difference between just letting it sit there and watching it grow. With Town Bank's great new rates on savings accounts, you can start earning more than ever before. Make the switch today and get more interest and their award-winning customer service. But act fast, these great new rates won't be here for long. Learn how much your money can grow at townbank.us. Banking products provided by Winters Financial Corp. Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
An official message from Medicare. Don't let preventable diseases stop you from doing the things you love. Medicare Part D now covers all recommended vaccines, like tetanus and shingles, at no cost to you. That means you don't have to stop whipping up your favorite recipes or dusting off your guitar to show that rock stars never get old. Talk to your doctor about which vaccines are right for you so you can keep doing the things you love. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Visit GetRoto.net for all your sewer and drain cleanup needs.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Some snakes are loose in American Family Field. Time to smoke them out.
Backtrack wall. See you later.
Our Brewers D-backs coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers Warm-Up on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a worker dies after being injured at Lambeau Field.
I'm Sandy Max. A Titanic emergency.
I'm Greg Matzik. Why 3 in a row is better than 6 in a row.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and looks like we got some action going on 41 northbound. Some police activities got the 2 right lanes blocked at Swan Boulevard, so that's going to be tying things up, heading up past that scene. Southbound side, you are looking at a 17-minute ride from Highway Q to the Zoo interchange. So we've got basically slowdowns from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive, and then again from about Center Street down and around the North Avenue curve. Southbound 43 is our other heavy spot, 24 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road to downtown. That's going to be an extra 13 minutes. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 60. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84 degrees. It's currently sunny and 71. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the construction worker who got trapped at Lambeau Field due to a work accident on Thursday has died from his injuries. The worker was an employee of Mavid Construction, and the company says the carpenter was critically injured while working at Lambeau and died from his injuries on Saturday. TMJ4 News reporting a statement from Mavid says the worker was a second-generation employee who worked alongside his father and brother at Mavid Construction.
Cudahy police say there is no evidence a crime was committed following a shelter-in-place order overnight. Police were called to the area of Carpenter and Packard Avenue late Sunday on a report of someone being seen jumping from one roof to another. When they arrived, officers believed they were being shot at. The police department said an armored vehicle was used to rescue the officers. Investigators now say they identified a residence and spoke to the people who live there. As of now, no evidence of a crime has been discovered.
A search is underway for a small research submersible missing near the wreck of the Titanic. 5 people reported on board, and the Coast Guard says the vehicle lost contact about an hour and 45 minutes after going underwater yesterday. It was reported overdue yesterday afternoon. The capsule is advertised to have 96 hours of oxygen. ABC News transportation reporter Sam Sweeney says a number of things could have happened.
If the vehicle's not just sitting on the ocean floor because it's disabled and it lost contact, that's one scenario. But if it's taking on water, if say there's a hole in the side of the vessel and it's taking on water, well, then you have a much different catastrophic scenario there. And obviously a rescue there would be impossible. But we simply don't know what happened, what caused this loss of control or power, or why they're not able to communicate with that ship.
The U.S. Coast Guard in Boston is leading the search. A Canadian Coast Guard vessel and Canadian military aircraft are assisting.
Several companies with global reach say they're reaching out to global refugees to offer them jobs. Here's ABC's Sherry Preston.
Just ahead of World Refugee Day on Tuesday, Amazon, Hilton, Marriott, and several other multinational companies have signed a pledge to hire thousands of refugees over the next 3 years. More than 40 corporations say they will train a total of 250,000 refugees for future work, and they'll directly hire more than 13,000 of them, including women whose family members are still fighting in Ukraine. The UN says 110 million people are now displaced worldwide, 12 million from Ukraine alone, part of the largest movement of refugees in Europe since World War II. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Milwaukee is celebrating Juneteenth today.
Happy Juneteenth Day, everyone. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley celebrating the holiday during the opening ceremonies of the city's event and calling for others to join in the party. It's a time for folks who ain't never been down here on Martin Luther King Drive.
Another first-place team visits Milwaukee. Greg Matzik explains next in sports.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:04. Traffic and weather sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts that you've trusted for over 85 years.
This report is sponsored by Creative Planning. Give your wealth a second look. CreativePlanning.com.
Wealth-changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring every aspect of your wealth works harder together so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
June is here, and as a Wisconsinite, you know that means nothing but blue skies and sunshine. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the rising temperatures ahead. This is Jim Griffin. We'll make vehicle maintenance easy peasy and breezy with summer service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow harvested from your body and then placed back into your body get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
I remember when the Brewers stunk and they lost 6 in a row and everything was falling apart and they'd fallen out of first place. Yeah, that was Friday. And then they won 3 straight against the Pirates and are back on top of the division after a 3-game sweep. How about that? How about Joey Wiemer hitting a home run on Saturday, a day where Wiemer-esque mullet haircuts were given to willing fans?
You know, he's driving the baseball, which he's very capable of. The opposite field homers have started to come, which is, a great sign for any hitter. So he's putting together a really nice first season in the big leagues.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell, Wiemer ranks 8th among Major League rookies with 10 home runs, despite hitting just .212. As for tonight's game, the NL West leading Diamondbacks are in town for Game 1 of a 3-game series. Our coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news. Hottest team in baseball, by the way, at the moment, the Reds. They've won 8 straight games. They begin the day just a half game back of the Brewers for first place in the NL Central. And it's draft week in the NBA. The Suns are adding some offensive punch, finalizing a trade with the Wizards to acquire all-star guard Bradley Beal. Not sure if it's going to be an interesting week here for the Bucks. They only own 1 pick in Thursday's draft. It's the final pick of the night, number 58 overall. They don't have a lot of draft assets to maneuver around. They've got some big roster decisions with Chris Middleton. He's got a player option. Brook Lopez is ticketed to free agency. So draft night is really component 1 to the Bucks offseason. But I'm not expecting much to be heard out of the Bucks on Thursday night.
And Middleton only has like 10 days to decide to opt in or not, right? Are we kind of in that window?
Yeah, you are in that window. So Draymond Green has already opted out of his contract with the the Warriors. So he'll hit the market presumably. And opting out does give you the chance to sign another multi-year deal. So if Middleton does opt out, it doesn't mean his time in Milwaukee is done, but it also could mean his time in Milwaukee is done.
It is 3:08 at WTMJ. The 3 at 3 up next.
Home practice is about to begin. Your daughter's new tap shoes? Loud. Your son's new tuba? louder. But you got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with $50 overdraft grace zone. So if you lose track of expenses buying some noise-canceling and sanity-saving headphones, we've got your back. You got this with $50 overdraft grace zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Do you know the two most beautiful words in the English language?
I sure do. Asphalt and concrete.
There's nothing quite like the sweet smell of freshly paved asphalt.
I'm Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson with Johnson & Sons Paving.
From parking lots to driveways, we do it all.
If you have a project in need of asphalt, concrete, seal coating, or striping, we've got you covered.
Business owners to homeowners, we can help you.
Customer focused, quality driven, and budget conscious. Call us today.
262-251-5585.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
The new Raid Essentials Light Trap uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. For insecticide protection that's people and pet friendly, get new Raid Essential Light Trap.
Grandview Homes will buy your home as is today. It doesn't matter what condition it's in. We'll give you a fair cash offer in 48 hours, and you have nothing to lose to try us out. With Grandview, you don't need to fix your home to sell it. Call or visit grandviewhomes.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, everybody, happy Juneteenth Day. Hope you're having a great Monday. Hope your weekend was fantastic. Sandy Max is here. So is Greg Matzik. Debbie Lozica's got your roads. Adam Roberts is producing the show this afternoon. Let's get to it.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Sandy, where do we start?
Titanic fans under the water are missing.
This is a terrifying story. So tourists can get on this little submersible device and go see the wreckage of the Titanic. They pay $250,000 a piece, and now a rescue mission is underway to try to find the tourists. Their submersible has not been seen or heard from since yesterday. The U.S. Coast Guard is searching for a lost Titan submersible. There are assets from Canada that are on the ground as well. And the Coast Guard says 5 people are on board, 1 crew member and 4 of what they call mission specialists. Those are the tourists. Advertising for the submersible says it has enough life support to keep people alive for 96 hours inside this little submersible, meaning rescuers have about 60 hours left to find it. Now, that's assuming that it doesn't have a hole in it and isn't sitting on the bottom of the ocean. The Titanic sank on April 15th, 1912, after, of course, hitting that iceberg on its maiden voyage from England to New York City. We will keep you updated on this situation as we head through the afternoon. The search is on. Fingers are crossed.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
It sure is. What's next?
Record heat in the southern U.S. impacting over 30 million Americans. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Zee says the stifling heat will last well into this week.
This is day 8 for a lot of people, so we need this ridge to break down. It is getting dangerous. San Antonio hospitals have already seen heat-related illnesses on the rise, and the people checking in for it. Looks like Houston goes through at least Thursday, and then things start to cool down. And by cool down, I mean feel like 100 rather than 110.
It is hot, 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 and this is at a place where they're used to heat. It's Texas, but they are shattering records. This weekend in some cities in Texas, they broke the old record for heat by 5 full degrees. Usually when a record's broken on any given day, you break it by a degree or 2 degrees because we've been keeping records for so long. They are killing it. In some places down there, it's going to feel like 125 degrees.
And no power.
And no power for large swaths of the impacted area. No air conditioning. Dangerous.
Yeah.
Just very, very dangerous. All right. What's the third thing?
Today is Juneteenth, a federal holiday in the United States commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. And in Milwaukee, the celebration has plenty of history. 101.7 The Truth's Telly Hughes told Wisconsin's Morning News he hopes more people take time to learn about the holiday.
There's so much more to the story, and I encourage people to try to get educated on it. It's not just some made-up holiday that just came up about 2 or 3 years ago. It has a deep history.
We're going to dive into that history as we head through the afternoon. It was on this date in 1865, 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, that enslaved Americans in Texas were finally told that they are free. Milwaukee with a proud history of celebrating this, the oldest celebrations in America. The Truth, 101.7 The Truth is there on the ground. Our guy, Tori Lowe, from the Tori Lowe Show will join us coming up at 4:45 to take us inside some of the local history, national history, and the flavor of what's happening here in Milwaukee today. Such an important day. Tori will be with us coming up at 4:45. Coming up next on WTMJ, new flights added from Milwaukee. And what's that white powder in Kansas? We'll be right back.
Oh, I'm already running late. Let's go.
There's a backup on I-94 eastbound.
Wait, is that Debbie Loziga?
Expect delays.
Well, how bad is it?
Alternate routes will help you in your journey.
I feel better.
Get where you need to go calmly with traffic reporter Debbie Loziga, only on News Radio WTMJ.
Follow me on social.
Hey, with inflation affecting so many families, the super affordable Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is better than ever. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The breakfasts are big and they're $8.99 or less. Mondays are family pizza day. Get a huge 18-incher for just $14.99. Easily serves a family of 4. Pizzas like this at other restaurants, $20 or so. I love the pepperoni at the Mine Shaft, and it's a great value. Tuesdays, tacos are only $2.99. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that $2 million game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal, maybe have an after-dinner drink. How good is that? And the Mine Shaft desserts, they're buy one, get one free. I love the chocolate cake. Get the ice cream with it. The amazing Mine Shaft is on Main Street in beautiful downtown Hartford and now in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Enjoy that huge Monday pizza for $14.99. Tuesday, tacos are $2.99. Happy hour every day until 5 with half-price beers and cocktails. No reservations needed. Just walk in today. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure families throughout Wisconsin. Our experienced and local agents are here to assess your individual needs and ensure your family is protected. As one of Wisconsin's top 10 insurance agencies, Ansay & Associates is here to provide all of your insurance needs, from home and auto to life insurance and specialty coverage. Learn more at ansay.com. That's ANSAY.com.
Okay, so inventory, then suppliers, then staffing plan, overhead, and bookkeeping. Or suppliers first, then bookkeeping, inventory, overhead.
Running a small business can be full of distractions. U.S. Cellular wants to give small business owners one less thing to think about. 3 months of free service with 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot data.
Oh, that's nice.
Join the network that allows you and your business to focus on what really matters. Get 3 months of free service with 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot data. U.S. Cellular. Built for business, built for us. Terms and conditions apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Summer means fresh at Sendix. This week, fresh cut watermelon is just 79 cents per pound, and fresh sweet corn is just $6 per dozen. Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Loziga, and it's sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Good afternoon, Debbie.
Good afternoon, John. Trouble on 41 northbound, right about at Swan Boulevard or just north thereof. We do have the right lane blocked right now. Some police activity going on, so you'll want to give them a wide berth. Try and stay away from the area because right now it's a 33-minute ride from the zoo to Highway Q, so it's an extra 19. Southbound 41 is going to be 23 minutes to get from Highway Q to the zoo. Most of that is slowing down from Silver Spring all the way down to Swan Boulevard, where that the incident is. On southbound 43, we are looking at some big delays now from basically just south of Brown Deer Road all the way down to about Locust. It's 26 minutes to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. That's going to be an extra 15. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low of 60 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, 84. Wednesday, sunny, 84. Thursday, lots of sunshine, 83 degrees. And on Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 83. What a nice week. Right now, it's mostly sunny and 74 degrees. American Airlines continues to expand at our airport. This is really great news for the airport. New nonstop flights from Milwaukee to Washington, D.C. start in October, and they're flying to Reagan National Airport, which is the most convenient airport if you have business actually in the city. It's very cool. It's right near the memorials, right near the monuments. If you're there on the National Mall, you see the planes fly over, and they fly basically right over the Lincoln Memorial before landing in the heart of the city. So American will have flights twice a day, both directions, daily, from Milwaukee to Washington Reagan. They also announced just recently that starting in November, American Airlines, will fly direct from Milwaukee to Miami. So we talk a lot about airline service on the show, and American Airlines currently flies to 5 places nonstop. Now you can make it 7.
What's the timing of the D.C. trips?
October.
Doesn't that seem a little late? Like it seems like right now would be the time to
summer
launch
would be
that.
the heart of it,
You know what I
right?
mean? I don't know. Miami, great. Perfect time for winter.
But it's going to be year-round. So
I do like
maybe,
that. That's great.
Maybe they could only work out, they couldn't get the gates open, availability or whatever, but it's going to be cool. Both those locations, 2 flights a day. That's cool. No, I take that back. D.C., 2 flights a day. Miami, the nonstops are not quite that frequent, but you'll be able to fly nonstop to Miami. So, good stuff.
I kind of wonder what that has to do with the upcoming elections, considering Wisconsin is such an important state, as are all the states. But just interesting. There might be more travel back and forth.
Yeah, could be. Hey, let's get Alex Stone on the line. ABC's Alex Stone's been covering an interesting story as we pivot here. 90 letters mailed to Kansas public officials containing a white powder. Alex, what do we know about this?
Well, the number's gone up to 100 today, over 100, so more have arrived today. And they don't know. The FBI and others, they're trying to track down who's sending the letters, why, from where are they sending them, that they arrived beginning on Friday to mainly the homes of mainly Republican lawmakers in Kansas. So somebody did homework, not to the state capitol, not to an elections office, but to the private homes of the attorney general and the lawmakers and some other public officials. We've talked to a few of them. State Rep Tori Marie Blue, she got one, and she tells us
it was just in your typical letter envelope, and at the very bottom of it, you could feel that it was very thick.
Thick because of the powder in it, and the messages have been described as being cryptic. They've arrived, again, mainly at home. So on Friday, the lawmakers say that they went to their home mailbox, opened it up, didn't think anything about it, opened it, the powder went all over the place. At least one of them, had a bogus return address of a church and the name of a transgender woman murdered in 2021 as the return name. Most of them, according to the lawmakers, have had no clear message in them, no clear point, very cryptic, but they've all had the white powder folded up in them. This is State Rep Stephen Owens. He got one as well.
They were definitely very methodical and very thoughtful. This was very intentionally meant to get lawmakers to open this letter.
And John and Sandy, so far, the white powder has come back as being not dangerous, not a biological agent, not an explosive, but clearly meant to send a message. The concern being of, you send 100 of these that are not dangerous. What if you send one that is? So they've got to test all of them to figure out, are they're trying to get people to let their guard down and then send one that is dangerous. The lawmakers in Kansas are being told to be vigilant. We got to read a letter today from the Republican leadership in Kansas to members saying they know this is stressful, but who's sending it and why, they don't know yet.
So the messages have been described as cryptic. Do they have a point? Do they have a motive? Do we know who's being targeted?
No, they don't. They don't seem to have any of that. They've talked about chopping the heads off of different things. I mean, it hasn't made a whole lot of sense at all. And they are typed. That so far, they don't have any identifiable information on them, but they're going to do forensic testing, figure out DNA, fingerprints, anything like that. The postmark on at least one of them is from Kansas City, so it could be relatively local. Or did somebody drive there to drop them off? They don't know. One more for you. Senator Molly Baumgartner, she got one telling us.
There is some message. The message is somewhat unclear, but it was intended to be threatening.
And she said about her letter?
Whoever sent this, spent the time to look up addresses. It now appears that return addresses aren't for actual individuals, but they are actually addresses for churches.
And they want to put a close to it. Now people aren't opening them up because Friday they didn't know, Saturday some still didn't know as they randomly went out. Now by Monday, anybody who would be in that position to get one, they know don't open it up, but the letters are going up. Now the question, though, is are there more out there that weren't delivered by Friday or today or Saturday? And that are still in the mail system, maybe, and they're searching the mail system right now.
Alex, it's such a violation to get that at your own home, even if you're a public official, but also messing with the mail. It's a federal offense, and I'm reminded of that case back in 2018 where the man sent inoperative pipe bombs to different politicians. And by the time he was sentenced, even though it was determined that he purposefully didn't make those bombs to be operative, it was still an intent, and he got 20 years in prison for that.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a crime, even if it's not anthrax or some other kind of biological agent. It is a crime that whomever is doing it would spend, if they're caught, a long time in federal prison. It would be a federal crime. The FBI leading this right now. And you think back to 2001 and the anthrax letters, nobody was ever caught in that. There were a lot of people they suspected had something to do with it, who worked in labs and in other places, but they never figured out who actually did it. So this is tough to do. If there is no evidence in these letters in the form of DNA or fingerprints or something else, a real address on them, that you drop it off at one of those blue mailboxes in the middle of nowhere where there's no cameras around. How did they find this person? They're trying. They're working on it right now, but it can be tough.
And Alex, we know the reporting is that the white powder is not dangerous. Do we know what it is?
We don't know what it is. They likely do. They've been doing testing on it, and it takes some time. So with 100 of these, how many of them they've actually gone through, we don't know. But all we know is it flour? Is it something else? Unclear, but they say not a biological agent, not an explosive. Beyond that, we don't know.
ABC's Alex Stone with us from Los Angeles. Alex, thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Coming up on this Juneteenth, we've got a lot of ground we're going to cover for you. We're going to talk Juneteenth with Tori Lowe from the Tori Lowe Show. Love his energy. He's going to be with us coming up during the 4 o'clock hour. Right now, he's out and about. There's a lot going on in our cool city. At WTMJ.com, you can find some of those Juneteenth Day events. A lot going on. Tori Lowe joins us live coming up at 4:45. And before we get to 4 o'clock, a couple of things. Something nice. WTMJ Cares, a really cool way that you can help make a difference. I love this. We've got some interesting detail for you on that. And an honor flight was this Sunday. It was our 69th flight, 65 veterans and their guardians, and a pretty nice little story I want to share with you about Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. We'll do that as well before we get you to 4 o'clock. And we're on top of that story, the search and rescue mission underway for the missing Titanic tourist submersible. We will stay on top of that story and bring you any developments. The markets are closed today. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update does show home builder confidence in June is turning positive for the first time in about 11 months. So some movement there. And a recap of where the markets closed down on Friday. A good week last week, but Friday everything was off. The Dow closed off 109 points. The S&P 500 last week was off 16 on that Friday, and the NASDAQ was down 93. Crude oil was off, and gold and silver are also down on the day. Markets will reopen tomorrow, and, of course, we'll bring you those numbers when that happens. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
Like it or not, you are a media-consuming machine, chased all day by headlines, texts, emails, on the TV, the computer, the phone, even your smartwatch. News about market volatility and uncertainty could lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. No surprise, Americans report increased stress about their investment and retirement plans. This isn't a time to be frozen in place. Take action. Put Annex Wealth Management on your side. Build a plan that will help cut through the noise. We'll provide comprehensive investment and retirement guidance that includes tax and estate planning. Let Annex do a deep dive on your portfolio, offer unbiased advice with WealthMetric, and work to create a solid plan for you and your family. Turn down the media roar. Dial up the planning. Head to AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button. It takes only a couple of minutes. Set your own appointment. In person or online, it's time to take action and know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management. AnnexWealth.com.
If you're on the job day in and day out, you know living with pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders is miserable. The good news, QC Kinetics gets it. They understand guys like you.
They don't have the luxury of taking time off. They want to keep working. We are built for those guys that want to keep working and want to stay active. So the vast majority of who we see are the blue-collar guys like me and you.
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies, just like pro athletes have used for years, to get you lasting pain relief with no surgery.
I want you to continue working. I want you to continue exercising. The joints are made to be moved.
The treatments at QC Kinetics are fast and non-invasive.
It's not a lot of time commitment on your part. There is no downtime or recovery time. You don't need short-term disability with what we do. We want to keep you active.
Call QC Kinetics now to set up your free no-obligation consultation. Learn how you can get real pain relief and stay on the job.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. I'm often asked, when is the best time to book all-inclusive winter getaways? Well, my friends, it is in summer. Do yourself a favor and get your vacation on the calendar now. And guess what? This July, Fox World Travel is once again partnering with Apple Vacations for the nation's largest exclusive early booking sale. We'll have exclusive resort deals you won't find anywhere else and the nonstop flights to get you to Mexico and the Caribbean. Our expert advisors save you time. The sale saves you money. Plus the best price guarantee and cancel for any reason insurance. Why not check the box and get your vacation on the calendar? Call a travel advisor now to get on the list before the sale starts. In anticipation of our upcoming sale, Fox World Travel and Apple Vacations are giving away a trip for two to Dreams Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa. Boy, is it incredible. Visit foxworldtravel.com and enter for a chance to win by June 30th. Visit foxworldtravel.com. Good luck.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a fatal crash involving a moped.
Microsoft lays out a plan for Mount Pleasant.
I'm Greg Matzik. From pirates to snakes.
I'm Debbie Loziga. We had that earlier problem on 41 northbound right around Swan Boulevard. Some police activity had a couple of lanes blocked, but that has now been cleared, and the delays are starting to work themselves out. Still very heavy, though. 27 minutes from the zoo to Highway Q, 13 extra. The southbound side's going to take you 24 from Highway Q to the zoo. Southbound 43, Brown Deer Road to the Marquette interchange is up to a 32-minute ride. We're seeing backups pretty much from Brown Deer Road all the way down to about Locust. That's where it starts to open up a little bit. The northbound side's a little bit tight as well, just north of North Avenue up past Keith. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low 60. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a 16-year-old boy is dead after a moped crash this morning. Milwaukee police say the 16-year-old was speeding on a moped when he collided with a truck that was making a turn near 26th and Greenfield. The boy was transported to a local hospital where he later died. The driver of the truck remained on the scene.
An investigation is underway into a deadly crash involving an Amish buggy. It happened this morning outside Darlington in southwestern Wisconsin. A 19-year-old woman and horse were killed after the buggy was hit by a semi-truck on Highway 81. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office says the woman was traveling from Platteville to Darlington when the crash occurred.
An urgent search underway for a missing Titanic tourist submersible. ABC's Dave Packer.
The submersible disappearing at the site of the Titanic wreck, some 370 nautical miles off Newfoundland and nearly 2.5 miles below the ocean's surface. A U.S. official says there were 5 people on board. The search reportedly began Sunday after the U.S. Coast Guard was notified of an overdue vessel. Tourists have paid up to $250,000 to ride the submersible to the Titanic wreck. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Nearly 2,000 nurses have walked off the job in Oregon. They are striking after Providence hospitals failed to agree to their terms. ABC's Savannah Welch is in northeast Portland, outside one of the medical facilities where nurses have been picketing for hours.
Nurses say they moved to strike after unwillingness from Providence to return to the bargaining table. And nurses and clinicians have been bargaining with Providence for almost 9 months now. And nurses say they're asking for better pay, better health care, better staffing, and reasonable sick and paid time off for workers. Providence did say they're bringing in a group of replacement nurses. The strike will last all week until Friday.
This is limited duration strike, meaning it will last 5 days. The nurses union did give the hospital warning, so patients could be moved to other facilities.
Juneteenth celebrations are underway in Milwaukee. During opening ceremonies, Mayor Cavalier Johnson touted the growth of the festival.
And this celebration, over the years, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. The number of vendors keeps growing. The number of participants keeps on growing.
The 52nd annual Juneteenth parade was held earlier today.
Draft week in the NBA. What's that mean for the Milwaukee Bucks? Greg Matzik explains next in sports.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:33. John Mercure here for Griffin Muskego Used Cars. I love the Griffin brands. I've been a Griffin guy for several years. My last 2 vehicles I bought at Griffin Places. Jim Griffin's new car locations have been selling so many used cars, he opened up a used car lot in Muskego. A great resource on the corner of Janesville Road and Racine Avenue. Get a used car you can trust from the company I trust. Griffin Muskego Used Cars is offering the same great deals you'd expect from a leader in the market. Buying a pre-owned vehicle from a local dealer just makes sense. Visit their website. Check out griffinmuskego.com for a wide selection of pre-owned cars and trucks, coupes, and even low-mile SUVs. Unique, hard-to-find models. Choose from over 15 popular brands. They've got 22 pre-owned trucks, SUVs, and sedans available right now, starting at under $10,000. Your vehicle is also worth more right now. Let Griffin Muskego Used Cars, right there on the corner of Janesville and Racine, buy your vehicle outright. You don't need to buy anything from them. You walk in, they buy your vehicle, you leave with a check, hassle-free appraisal right on the spot. You can have that check for your vehicle in under an hour. It's Griffin Muskego.
A wiser way to build your wealth.
A wiser way to build your wealth starts with choosing a financial planning firm that is fee-only, because it means they work for you. Fee-only firms like Financial Strategies, Inc. don't work for a bank or brokerage firm or an insurance company or mutual fund company, because we don't want our decisions for your best interests compromised in any way. We work for you, and only in your best interest. And fee-only means the success we care about most is yours. Ask your advisor, are you 100% fee-only for 100% of your clients 100% of the time? If they answer no, get a second opinion. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm. And I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzek.
Out with the Pirates, in with the Snakes. Brewers welcome in the Arizona Diamondbacks after sweeping Pittsburgh over the weekend. Brandon Woodruff scheduled to throw a bullpen session this weekend. He's been gone for more than a month with an injury. Back in the rotation after injury is lefty Wade Miley. He picked up the win Saturday after missing about a month.
And we've just gotten such quality from Wade. And that's important, that quality that's leaving the game, every single time, every start, leaving the game in the lead or really in the game. And that's what's been, consistent, and that consistency is going to get you a lot of W's.
It's Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Corbin Burns on the mound tonight as the Brewers look to make it 4 wins in a row. Well, Thursday's NBA draft, just one component of the Bucks offseason. Milwaukee owns just one pick. It's number 58 overall. It's the existing roster that's bringing about the most questions.
Chris Middleton has a player option, and Brook Lopez is an unrestricted free agent. They've got to make some pretty big decisions, and they don't have a lot of optionality if they decide to not have those players on their team, or those players decide to not be on their team, and that's Giannis is certainly watching all of that.
That's ESPN's Zach Lowe. Middleton has until June 29th to accept or decline the player option on his contract. Lopez is headed toward free agency. He'll be free to negotiate with any team after July 1st. And a big trade being finalized, John, between the Suns and Wizards to send All-Star guard Bradley Beal, who had a no-trade contract or clause in his contract. He's going to go to Phoenix ultimately. Shams Charania of The Athletic saying that Beal is choosing the Suns over the Heat, Kings, and Bucks, which is interesting.
Oh, man, that would have been a really nice fit. He's a great piece, right?
It would have been an interesting fit. He's been injured on and off, but he's a 20-plus point-a-game scorer.
Right.
Just the complex nature of getting him to the Bucks, you're either going to trade Giannis. Hey, let's just wipe it off.
That ain't going to happen.
I say, don't even say that out loud.
That ain't
Spit
happening.
when you say that.
You'd have to do a sign-and-trade with Middleton, which is really complex to do. Or you have to make Drew Holiday your biggest trade asset, along with some other picks to make the money right. So Middleton or Holiday likely would have been the main piece traded had the Bucks been able to work out a deal.
Yeah, we like all those guys, don't we?
I do like all those
Let's
guys.
not get rid of those guys.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. It's 3:37 at WTMJ. Something nice on this Monday. Up next.
What if you could build a 6-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a 6-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
The world can be a messy place.
Yep.
And we at Wisconsin's Afternoon News think it could do with a little more nice.
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 Oh, that's nice.
Say something nice to me. This is Something Nice on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
I got something nice by a whole family near Watertown.
Oh, yeah? What do you got?
Oh, yeah. Multi-generational blood donors.
Wow.
Yes. Ed and Joanne Schmidt have been regular blood donors since the 1970s.
That's awesome.
Rolling it into their lifestyle all the way back in the 70s. They donate blood as often as they can, and you can donate usually every 12 weeks. Ed Schmidt has surpassed his 25th gallon milestone of donation.
Gosh. Wow.
Those pints add up since the 70s. And his wife, Joanne, has given close to 4 gallons, which is still impressive, but sounds like nothing after 25, right?
25 gallons of blood?
29 gallons between the two of them since the 1970s. And they inspired their 3 adult children and their spouses, who also donate regularly. So there's 2 generations. And the 3rd generation, last year, their teenage granddaughter, Gabrielle, started donating blood.
Oh, that's cool.
You have the Schmidts to thank for how many lives does 29 plus gallons of blood save?
Yeah, I'm not great at math, but
Hundreds,
that's a lot.
but it's really wonderful. So Joanne Schmidt, she said her quotes are that we have always been motivated to donate blood for our family and friends. And years ago, her mother had pancreatic cancer, and she watched her have dozens of blood transfusions. And Joanne says it gives you a very warm, satisfying feeling just thinking your blood went to help save another person's life. And if anyone's ever in doubt of donating blood, they should just think about all the lives they could be helping. It doesn't take very long. It's painless. You should never hesitate to give. The Red Cross is such a wonderful organization that does so much for so many people and families who are in need. This world is such a better place with the help from the Red Cross. So think about the Schmidts from the Watertown area of Wisconsin, making it a family affair and donating, because that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we are.
WTMJ cares.
So let me give you some math really quick before you tell people how they can help.
Yes,
so
sir.
29 gallons, there's 8 pints in a gallon.
Yeah.
So that's 232 pints, and you save 3 lives, we said, for each pint potentially, right?
Yes.
So that's almost 700 lives
touched.
that just them
from one
have
family.
touched. Wow, that's amazing.
Yay!
That's remarkable.
That does kind of give me goosebumps, I'm going to tell you, because this is one of the reasons that I wanted to host or help partner on a blood drive, because raising money, we all get asked in a lot of ways, and money goes to really help for really great causes. And this is just a different twist. What do you want? Blood? Yes, I do. So can you join us for a 3-day blood drive next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the Milwaukee County Zoo, partnering with the American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices. WTMJ.com. You can go right there. You can schedule your appointment. You can also text the word blood, BLOOD. Text that to 855-616-1620. That's the Old National Bank talk and text line. If you text the word blood to 855-616-1620, we text you a link right back. Open it up.
Easy.
Yeah, schedule that. We still have appointments available. There are about 30 appointments available on Monday, about 60 appointments available on Tuesday, and 85 appointments available on Wednesday. This is the American Red Cross's biggest blood drive. We are thrilled to partner with them. And John's done the math. That's a lot of lives you can
amazing.
save. Yeah.
I'm
really
amazed
is.
that each pint you donate is potentially 3 lives.
Sure.
That's remarkable.
Because of the different ways that hospitals can use it. Please text BLOOD, BLOOD, to 855-616-1620. That's the Old National Bank talk and text line. If you, like I said, we want to make it convenient and easy for you. 9 till 3, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. And guess what? You get bonuses. Not only do you get the cookies and juice after you donate your blood, you get same-day admission to the zoo and free parking. So maybe bring a friend, bring your family, make it a family affair. Exactly. And spend the day at the zoo, plus a pair of Summerfest tickets while supplies last.
That's fantastic. And there are health benefits to you when you donate, too.
There are.
It's good for your heart. It's good for your liver. It's good for the organs in your body. The research has shown that you cycle through that blood in your own body, it's good for you. There's real health benefits.
I am A positive. If you don't know what your blood type is, guess what? You'll find out when you go. If it's your first time, come on in. Try it. Try it. I think you'll like it. I will be there for most of each of those days. And if you are one of those people who used to give blood or haven't given blood in a long time, come on out. We welcome you back. And the nurses are there. They're in a good rhythm. They'll take good care of you.
They make it easy.
They really do. And John, what's your blood type? Have you forgotten? Are we still stumped you?
I don't know. I need to go because then
John,
I'll know.
will you come with me? Come with me on Monday.
I might go out there with you.
I would love that.
I've been listening to you, and I am inspired. This is the potential to do so much good work for so many people.
Well, and you've been
I'm
around.
glad you're doing this.
We'll talk about your honor flight trip, but think about how much blood is needed in emergency situations and just in regular hospital situations.
And I used to donate blood. I don't have any reason not to, other than at some point I just kind of stopped doing it, and I need to start to do it again.
We can make it convenient and get it right in.
Yep.
Get it right in. Please text BLOOD, BLOOD, to the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620, or get the information on our website at WTMJ.com. And join us because WTMJ cares about you, too.
The magic of a Stars and Stripes honor flight. That's up next.
Be our eyes on the road. See something out there that I should know about?
Hello, reporting an accident on 40.
Call me, Debbie Lazaga, at thehomemazda.com traffic tip line at 414-238-9329.
Hey, Debbie, this is Al calling. Southbound 894 is backed up all the way to Beloit Road.
The drive affects you. Why not be part of it?
Hi, Debbie. It's Mark. There's an incident on the left shoulder, and it's a parking lot.
Give me a call, 414-238-9329.
I was recently visiting with my longtime family friend Lisa out at Three Pillars, Wisconsin's top-rated continuing care retirement community in beautiful Lake Country. What a gorgeous wooded campus and the activities. There's fitness and wellness, excursions, gardening, parties, fancy dinners, and tons of opportunities for budding artists. Now they're expanding, and Lisa is taking reservations for new high-end active adult residences, which means Three Pillars' top-rated campus is going to be even better with amenities like a supper club, a spa, a pub, dog park, and more. I want to live there. Learn more at threepillars.org.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Home title theft. It's on the rise, and it's devastating if it happens to you. Listen to the alarming words of an actual home title thief.
I don't need to know your date of birth and social security number. All I have to do is go to public records, create a document, and file that document. And then I can borrow against the house or sell the house. You may have no clue until you find out that your house has been sold or till several loans or several banks are foreclosing on you.
For pennies a day, Home Title Lock puts a virtual barrier of protection around your home's title with 24/7 monitoring. The instant they detect any tampering, you'll get an alert. And that's bad news for home title thieves. So when's the last time you checked on the title to your home? Find out if you're already a victim with your free title scan and complete title report. $100 value free with sign up. Just go to HomeTitleLock.com and sign up in minutes. That's HomeTitleLock.com. HomeTitleLock.com.
Visit GetRoto.net for all your sewer and drain cleanup needs.
Call Roto-Rooter, that's the name, and away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Hey, let's check in with Debbie Lazaga. Traffic is sponsored by Roto-Rooter, the sewer and drain experts you've trusted for over 85 years. Hey there, Deb.
Hey there, John. Yeah, looks like we've got a new accident. It's on northbound 41 right at Watertown Plank Road. It's off on the left shoulder, so that just got cleared with that earlier police activity. Now it's got a crash on it. So just seeing delays right out of the zoo interchange up past that point. All told, though, from the zoo all the way to Highway Q, going to be a 27-minute ride, 13 extra. Southbound side, everybody slowing down just south of Appleton Avenue, all the way down and around North Avenue's curve to about Mayfair Road. Southbound 43, still kind of a brutal ride. A half an hour to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. You're looking at an extra 19 minutes. Delays pretty much straight stretch from Brown Deer all the way down past Locust. And don't forget, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you happen to see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line. It's 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low 60. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84. Wednesday, sunny, 84. Thursday, more sunshine, high of 83. And on Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 83 degrees. Right now, it's gorgeous out. Sunny skies and 74 degrees. So as you know, I'm on the board of directors for Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. And all the time on the board, we talk about Honor Flight magic. Things that are just magical and special for our veterans and their families that happen that are really hard to explain. I want to tell you this amazing story that happened. There was an honor flight this past Saturday, 65 veterans and their guardians. We flew them to Washington, D.C. early in the morning. So at the last minute, I say the last minute, within sight about a week of the flight, a World War II veteran decided to go on the flight. Our president, Karen Relke, had been trying to get this veteran on a flight for a very long time, and they're humble and they're reluctant, and finally he decided to go. So a 99-year-old, actually closer to 100, he's almost 100, decided to go on the flight, and he's well enough to go on the flight. This guy has been around so long and had such a blessed life that he's outlived most of his family. His wife is gone, his children are gone, his brothers and sisters are gone. It's just him. I'm going to use the name Gary because I want to protect his privacy. So Gary's it. Gary goes on the flight. Gary knows that he has a granddaughter that he hasn't seen in over 50 years. At the same exact moment that we're planning to take Gary on the flight, unbeknownst to any of us or to Gary, his granddaughter, who I'll call Jenny, is looking for Grandpa. Through a series of weird family events, she has not been in touch with him for a very long time and doesn't know where he is. And she lives on the East Coast. So Jenny is looking desperately for her grandpa that she knows she has and doesn't even know if he's alive and probably thinks it's a long shot because he's almost 100. But she needs closure and she wants to track down Grandpa, or at least Grandpa's story, she believes. So she's searching. She hires a private investigator. It gets to be Wednesday, a couple days before the flight. And one of the things we do on the honor flight is we collect love letters from family members that we give to the veteran. I love you. Thank you for your service. I'm proud of you. You know, that sort of thing. So because this guy doesn't have family, we don't have a nice stash of letters to give to him. So what we do on these situations is on our Honor Flight Facebook page and social media platforms, we put out the call. We're taking Gary, a 99-year-old World War II vet. If you would like to send him some support, write a letter and we'll get it to him, and we collect the letters. The private investigator hired by Jenny, the granddaughter, is working his butt off and sees on our social media post Gary's name and calls up Jenny and says, "Oh my gosh, I think I found your grandfather." And I think he's going on an honor flight out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin and coming to Washington, D.C. And are you, Jenny, are you sure it's my grandpa? I think it is. It's everything you described to me. So Jenny, the granddaughter, gets in touch with us and says, "Is it okay if when you land in Washington, D.C., I meet my grandpa?" And of course, we say, "Oh my, absolutely, if he's open to it." So we fly out to Washington, D.C., and we get off the airplane, and we get on the buses. We are on beautiful buses all day with our heroes as we tour them around the Capitol. And Jenny decided to meet her grandpa at the Lincoln Memorial, which is where we make one of our stops. So we get off the airplane, and Gary's having a really good day. He's 99 years old and doesn't have any family that he's aware of. Jenny shows up at the Lincoln Memorial, and we get off the bus, and we wheel Gary, who's in a wheelchair, around the corner, and Jenny is there. And she hasn't seen her grandpa since she was 3 years old, and she's now 55. Gary doesn't know that his granddaughter is even alive. Thinks he has no family left, just hasn't talked to her at all. And this moment where they met and they came together was absolutely, unbelievably incredible, raw, tender. A guy almost 100 years old who thought he had just himself in the last days of his life has a loving, doting granddaughter who showed up with her husband there to welcome him, to hug him, to just say, I love you and I'm proud of you and I can do a little better than sending you a letter. And it was this incredible, magical moment. And there they were, standing on the mall where democracy was born, where the flags are flying that Gary fought for and under. And he's with his granddaughter, who he hadn't seen in over 50 years. It's just amazing.
Tears?
Oh, yeah, lots of tears. And not just for those two.
That's what I would figure. When you're witnessing
it was
something
crazy.
that intense and reconnective.
Yeah, honor flight magic.
Wow.
That just takes the whole experience to a different level, right? For those who are on honor flight, even some of the tough old veterans who say, I know what this is all about.
Yep.
They come off the airplane just in tears, right? They're just so overcome with the day and the return. And then to add that,
amazing.
It just that is a year's worth of emotion packed into a 20-hour period.
Yeah. So I'm working on trying to get the granddaughter to come to Milwaukee and to hang out with Grandpa. And if that happens, we're going to be part of that.
That would
and
be
we're gonna
wonderful.
Bring that to you. The other weird coincidence, she's looking for Grandpa all over the place. She lives in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So the private investigator says, I found your grandpa, and he's flying here
He's
to
coming
your
to
hometown. Yeah. And so she was there.
Special delivery.
Yep, got a special
Careful
delivery
what you
for
wish
you.
for. Here it comes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a magical. That's a novel. Like, you can't make that up.
Yeah, isn't that
you know?
incredible?
I mean, you can, but to know that
Unbelievable.
that's powerful and real, and that the emotion rippled through everyone, and it's so hopeful.
Yep.
It's so unexpected and hopeful, because there have to be other veterans who are listening, who have flown with you on the Stars and Stripes honor flight, who do feel that sense of loneliness and do feel like they, for as respected and honored and for what they've contributed to society, still feel that sense of loneliness. And wow, to know that tomorrow they could find out that they do have family members that love them, care of them, and are looking for them.
Yeah, you're right. Super cool. So just wanted to share that little story with you. And I will also add,
that's a big story. That's not a little story.
if you have a veteran who's not been on an honor flight and they served in the Vietnam era or further back, so from 1975 back, we would love to get them on an honor flight. Please sign them up. It's so easy. It's free for them. StarsandStripesHonorFlight.org is the website. StarsandStripesHonorFlight.org. There's an application there. It's easy. We would love to honor the veteran in your life. So StarsandStripesHonorFlight.org. It is 3:56 at WTMJ. Business headlines are up next. You know, dogs, especially if you don't have kids, become like the kids in your house. You're raising them, you're taking care of them. And like kids, those dogs don't always behave like they're supposed to. I know. I've got two dogs that are corgis, and they're gorgeous, Bella and Baxter. And like kids, they didn't always listen like they were supposed to. Sit Means Sit dog training has helped me turn that around. At Sit Means Sit, they gave us the tools and techniques we needed to make our dogs better dogs. It's Sit Means Sit dog training. The dogs are absolutely awesome now. They're much better. Thank you to Sit Means Sit. We started with a free consultation. You can do the same thing. They'll see if you're a good fit for them. You see if they're a good fit for you. And then, boom, your dogs are better dogs. SitMeansSitWaukesha.com.
Ready for summer travel? Start with a trip to Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We have unbeatable deals on automotive supplies and service to give you peace of mind out on the road. Like all Blazer trailer lighting, 10% off. Rewards members save an extra 5%. While you're in for automotive deals, save on all Flowtech well pumps and control boxes for your home, 15% off. Plus, great doorbusters like special buy 36-pound bags of KT All-American Wild Bird Food, just $19.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Business headlines. Sean Ryan's at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Microsoft releases the first hard job counts for its planned $1 billion Mount Pleasant data center. That first phase could create 200 jobs, but future projects beyond the first billion could create 460 more. A development near Wauwatosa's Village area is responding to prospective condo buyers who said they want bigger, more expensive homes. The proposed project would have 3 larger condos instead of 4 smaller ones under the previous plan. A state assembly vote is expected this week on a bill that would lighten red tape for craft brew pubs and distilleries. This is Sean Ryan for MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too, because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at ACCUNET.com.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
What's better than the look and feel of real leather? The amazing prices at Steinhoffels.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor salutes business owners who put the I can in American while treating their customers right.
Call up the boys at Weniger Compressor.
Some snakes are loose in American Family Field. Time to smoke them out.
Backtrack wall. See you later.
Our Brewers D-backs coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers Warm-Up on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, a carpenter working on Lambeau Field has died.
I'm Sandy Max. Juneteenth festivities today.
I'm Greg Matzik. Why it could be a quiet draft night for the Bucks.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We do have an accident northbound 41 at Swan Boulevard, right about Watertown Plank Road, I should say. And it is off on the left shoulder, slowing things down right out of the Zoo interchange. Southbound 43, slowing from Brown Deer Road, pretty much solid all the way down to about Locust. Then it opens up. You're okay through the Marquette. East and westbound 94, looking smooth at the moment. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low of 60. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84. It's currently 74. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the construction worker who got trapped at Lambeau Field due to a work accident on Thursday has died from his injuries. The worker was an employee at Mavid Construction. The company says he was critically injured and then passed away on Saturday. TMJ4 News reporting a statement from Mavid says the worker was a second-generation employee who worked alongside his father and brother at Mavid Construction.
A shooting at a Seattle area bus stop has left a 17-year-old dead after an argument at a bus stop near Foster High School Sunday afternoon. The injured teen was taken to the hospital in critical condition, but authorities confirmed he did not survive. ABC's Mo Hyder reports.
Investigators say this stemmed from an altercation between the two before shots were fired. Crime tape up for hours in the neighborhood. Police don't believe this to be a random incident. Over the past month, there have been a couple property crimes and one aggravated assault. And as of now, no word on a suspect at this time.
Authorities are still searching for the shooter.
Will they or won't they approve a sales tax increase for Milwaukee now that the state legislature has passed the shared revenue bill? Editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, Mark Cass, tells Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News his thoughts on pending city council and county board approval.
There are some aldermen who are concerned about it, who are saying that some of the things in the legislation which impede on local control are not things any of them like. But I think what they're missing on this is that that's not what they're going to be asked to approve. They're going to be asked to approve the sales tax increase in Milwaukee and in Milwaukee County. So no matter if they approve those sales things or not, all those regulations are still going into place because they come from the state.
Cass says Milwaukee's been discussing a sales tax increase for at least 8 years.
Milwaukee is celebrating Juneteenth today.
Happy Juneteenth Day, everyone. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley celebrating the holiday during the opening ceremonies of the city's event and calling for others to join in the party. It's a time for folks who ain't never been down here on Martin Luther King Drive to come experience fellowship, to come experience some music, and great company. Other dignitaries on hand included Governor Evers, Senator Tammy Baldwin, and Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson. And this celebration, over the years, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
A nonstop flight to Washington, D.C. will soon be offered at Milwaukee Mitchell Airport. American Airlines will begin running flights to the nation's capital this October. In November, American Airlines will fly nonstop from Milwaukee to Miami.
From Pirates to Snakes, Greg Matzik previews the next leg of the Brewers homestand next in sports.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
Unlimited, it's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Integrity. Your home's integrity depends on the roof, on the windows and doors, on the siding. When your home's integrity fails you, you need the people who won't. Siding Unlimited. The dad started a siding company, called it Siding Unlimited, brought up sons Eric and Aaron Brown to be trustworthy, to value their own integrity, and after college to take over the Siding Unlimited biz. The boys expanded Siding Unlimited beyond siding to windows and doors, roofs and decks, your home's integrity factors. Now you can buy those things from lots of people, but I wouldn't. I value the integrity of Eric, Aaron, and the talented American craftsmen that are the Siding Unlimited team. And I'm not just their spokesman. I'm a Siding Unlimited customer. Reliable, truthful, talented, and trustworthy. Winners of many industry awards and customer accolades. They are SidingUnlimited.com.
When I came up with this half-combumbled idea of opening a furniture store in Milwaukee, I still think you're crazy.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
My college professors, I was quitting college to start this, and they were, oh, absolutely, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had a girlfriend told me not to do it.
But I guess we kind of looked at it as, what's the worst that could happen? We'd have been in debt and we'd owed a lot of money back.
It wouldn't have been that much money. We didn't have that much money, and nobody borrowed us any, so.
So what if I had to work 3 years to pay off all that debt before I made any money again for myself and then go forward from there again?
PennyMustard.com.
It's a battle for NL Central bragging rights. Brewers, Cubs, Monday, July 3rd through Thursday, July 6th. Help defend American Family Field during this year's edition of the I-94 rivalry and celebrate the 4th of July at the ballpark, where kids and seniors can score half-price seats, courtesy of WPS Health Insurance. See the schedule and grab your seats today at brewers.com/promotions.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, the lowest win total from any NL Central Division champion is 88. Fangraphs currently believes the Brewers will win 82 games. They also believe the Brewers will win the division with 82 games. I think the Cardinals will bring up the rear with 76. That could make for a very interesting September in the NL Central. By then, who knows how many home runs Joey Wiemer will have. He's up to 10. That's good for 8th best among rookies.
I think we expected that. I mean, really, he's such a unique player, and he's such a unique personality and unique athlete, frankly, that really, the first time we saw him in spring training, with us significantly last year, you knew he was going to be a player that you wanted to watch. Fun to watch.
Weber back in Craig Counsell's lineup tonight as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Diamondbacks a first-place team. Brewers have won 3 straight. Our coverage gets underway following the 8 o'clock news. Draft week in the NBA.
What do you call a cow on the floor? Anybody know? Ground beef.
Yeah, day could be a bit of a joke for the Bucks, who are currently owners of just 1 pick. Thank you very much. Try the veal. Number 58 overall. That's the only pick the Bucs have. That's the final pick in Thursday's draft.
Yeah, the last.
It might be a bit of a nothing burger here for the Bucs. This could be a something burger, though. Chris Middleton has until June 29th. Get the burger jokes? Nobody laughed on that. Okay, thank you, guys.
Still laughing.
Chris has until June 29th to accept or decline the player option on his contract. It's for about $40 million. That'd be a hard thing to turn down. Do the Bucs really want him back? I don't know. It's going to be an interesting next 10 days. They got to get that figured out. So maybe not expect much out of the draft, but by the end of June, before free agency begins, might have a little better sense what this Bucs roster is going to look like.
And even if Middleton opts out, he could still come back.
He could come back, yeah. Maybe on a multi-year
deal,
less money per year kind of thing.
Yeah.
Be a very interesting offseason.
All right, Greg Matzek on Sports All Afternoon. It is 4:08. Up next, we always do Who Had a Good Weekend at 4:09. We're going to do that today. It's a Father's Day edition of Who Had a Good Weekend. That's up next on WTMJ.
Hey, it is coming.
Wealth-changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring every aspect of your wealth works harder together so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
There you go. Hey, join former NBA stars and Marquette basketball alumni Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener. They're going to be in Milwaukee this summer for Wade versus Diener Champions for Literacy. You can golf alongside the stars at the Bog in Saukville on July 24th. It's coming up. A full day, food, fun, maybe some decent golf. But the best part is you'll help fund local youth literacy projects. And if golf really isn't your bag, they do have a great tee-off tailgate party the night before at Discovery World. All the information is online at wadevsdiener.givesmart.com. Learn more, figure out how to support, play some golf, check out the gala. Enjoy wadevsdiener.givesmart.com.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned. Doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
This is Jim Griffin with Summer Service Specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, the team is here. Sandy Max is here. So is Greg Matzek, Debbie Lozica. The cameras are fired up. You can always watch the show. We live stream it now, WTMJ.com or the WTMJ YouTube page. So check it out there. Who had a good weekend? Let's maybe focus on yesterday. I know who had a good weekend. One of my favorite fathers, Greg Matzek.
Oh, boy.
Had a good weekend.
I did have a great
weekend. I know you got
weekend.
to spend it with your little girls, your beautiful family.
We had a wonderful time at the Brewers game. So my parents, Dad and I, along with Emily and their daughters, were at the games. My girls are 8 and 6, right? So a lot of questions come out of their mouths when we're at baseball games. And my daughter, Kendall, cannot stop laughing that the Brewers have a guy named Willie and Weimer. She thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. Also, her big question yesterday is, Dad, she's a 6-year-old girl, why is rolling a barrel fun? Just doesn't quite get that one yet. That's okay.
Awesome.
So we had a lot of fun explaining those kind of things to her. Had a little cookout at my parents' afterwards. But I loved it. But as the capper to the weekend, my daughters wanted to make my lunch today.
Yeah.
So that they put a sandwich together and yogurt and had some fruit. And my daughters said, do not check the top pouch of your little lunch box. Okay. It's a surprise. And this morning I pulled out a single marshmallow in a Ziploc bag.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Your sweet treat.
It's a hidden gem for me after a wonderful day. But it was fantastic. We had a
It's
good
so
time.
simple and pure and sweet.
It's amazing.
I'm
It
just
is.
absolutely touched. Like, considering the last thing we had in a plastic bag around here was Friday.
That was a
John
tick,
bringing
yeah.
in his tick.
Which he brought back, by the way, which I'm thankful to see.
Yeah.
He made it through the weekend.
It's still alive in
That's
that
good.
baggie.
Tommy the tick in
Yeah.
your plastic
Yeah.
bag. So, but that just because I saw the reveal when you pulled it out,
So sweet.
and it's like it's just one marshmallow in a snack bag.
Yeah.
Charming
that she
innocence
thinks it's very you're like ta-da.
of a 6-year-old.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Love every minute
I'm
of
glad
it.
you had a good Father's
Thank
Day.
you.
How
That's what it's all
sweet.
about.
How about
Yep.
you, John? Did you have a good Father's Day?
I had a great Father's Day. I talked to both my girls. My girls are 30-year-old twins. And the one is working remote at a whole new level. She's in Europe all summer because that's what they do these days.
There we go.
So I talked to her from Malta, which was crazy and fun.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. And then I talked to my other daughter in New York City, and I talked to my dad, which was really, really nice. And
That's
we're all going to be
great.
together in Alaska the end of next week.
Coming up pretty soon, right?
Yeah. So it was a very, very nice day.
That's lovely.
To all the fathers out there, we hope you had a great weekend, and we hope you get every good thing that you deserve.
Yeah. I
And
toasted my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Is it a tough day?
Raised a beer to him.
Or a happy day? Is it
Dado passed away in 2015, and I will tell you, and he passed away on Memorial Day.
Wow.
So, to have Father's Day 2 weeks after that.
Oh, yes.
Yuck.
You're
the
right.
year after that, all social media, like I had to stay off. Grief did a whole number on me, and this is probably the first year where it was lots of happy, warm, soft memories and purposefully raising a beer. But yeah, so this is the easiest it's been for a while. There'll always be a Dado-shaped hole in my heart, but yeah, ooh,
I know how much you adore
grief
your
will
dad,
drag you
so
through, man.
that's good.
So if you're going through that, my heart goes out to you, and it will, as they say, get easier. And it's okay to honor someone without absolute, because I think that's part of the hard journey of grief is when you start not being gutted. Are you really honoring that person's memory?
Yeah, yeah.
And you are, because they want you to be happy.
That's a
So-
great way to look at it.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's my 2 cents of my
Good.
experience. So
I
yeah,
like
even
it.
if you don't have your dad around, and if you do though, hot damn tamale, give them a call, give them a text. You'll never regret it.
Up next, this guy's a dad. I think Lane Grindle has like 13 children.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time in our yard over the weekend.
Yeah, they
too.
do. Greg's neighbor, Lane Grindle,
Is he
Brewers
trying to
broadcaster.
build his own baseball team?
Pretty much.
They're close.
He's up next on WTMJ.
I still got some time before my show starts. Let's go play some cornhole.
Well, it's nice of you to invite me, Jeff, but I still got to prepare for the news. Plus, who actually calls it cornhole? Isn't it bags?
Whatever you call it, it's all at Summerfest. You can check out Jeff Wagner broadcasting live at Summerfest on Thursdays and Fridays from noon to 3 in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin Mobile Studio at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone by the Lakefront.
Cornhole.
Bags!
Cornhole.
It's WTMJ at Summerfest 2023.
The year is almost half over and you are still dealing with that knee or hip pain, right? Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer and neither is surgery. You need to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joint so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is revolutionary, and it's right here in Milwaukee. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs or surgery or downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I have told you about the delicious pizza and Italian snacks that you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. But now there's even more to be excited about. The restaurant has added new sandwiches to the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy items like the Red Rock Chicken BLT, the Meatball Hero, and more. Order from the counter at Proof or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Discover Cadillac. Discover Crest Cadillac of Brookfield now with easy buy and lease options. Take advantage of 2.9% financing on new 2023 Cadillac XT4, XT5, and XT6. Come in today to test drive the all-new, all-electric Cadillac Lyriq. Discover the ultimate luxury experience with Cadillac's first all-electric, all-wheel drive vehicle with an over 300-mile range on a full charge. Order yours today at Crest Cadillac of Brookfield or CrestCadillac.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. How's that ride rolling, Deb?
Well, we're still dealing with an accident northbound on 41, right about at Watertown Plank Road, off on the left shoulder. Things are slowing down right from Blue Mound Road up to that point. Southbound side's going to be a little heavy from just north of Silver Spring all the way down to about Mayfair Road. Southbound 43, still going to be kind of a hefty ride. We're at about a half an hour to get from Brown Deer Road into downtown. Most of the delays happening just south of Brown Deer Road all the way down to about Locust. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. It's going to be a pretty good one. Tonight, clear skies, still good sleeping weather, low 60 degrees with a northeast wind. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84. Wednesday, sunny skies, a high of 84. Thursday, a big cool down. Sunny skies, a high of 83. On Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 83 degrees. Right now, it's sunny and 74.
Now batting for the Brewers Radio Network, play-by-play announcer Lane Grindle.
High fly ball, deep right field. Rowdy Tellez has done it again.
On Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, let's bring in our guy. He is Lane Grindle. Hello, Lane.
What's going on? How we doing?
Excellent. I'm glad for your sake you got to be in town for Father's Day. That is really nice. A nice early baseball game yesterday. How'd you spend the rest of Father's Day? What'd the Grindle family do?
The Grindle family made their way to Barron Park because young Luke Grindle played in the championship game of the Father's Day Showdown last night alongside Brock Levering. So the Levering-Grindle duo brought home the hardware last night. Nice. So it was a great Father's Day.
It's a big win, right? Big win?
It was a big win, yeah. They had to battle their way back to win the tournament this weekend, and every kid on that team played a big role. It was a lot of fun.
At that age, do they play positions, Lane, or consistently, or do they rotate them all over?
They'll rotate them a little bit, yeah. You get into these tournaments, and even though it's 7- and 8-year-olds, the coaches want to win, and the players want to win, so they will rotate them maybe a little less sometimes as you get a little further on in the tournament and you see a chance to win it. But they rotate them around. I mean, my kid played catcher and short and pitched at the end of the game last night, so they get to play multiple positions over the course of the game.
What I think is great, John, about these games is that Lane and Jeff really never break character, and there they are positioned in the bleachers right behind home plate. And as the pitch comes in, they're going through, they're kind of staying sharp, right? Yeah. When they're off duty, they're still on duty, if you know what I'm saying.
And they're keeping the book, the whole thing.
Oh, they got everything going on.
Guys, so this true, Jeff kept a book last night during the game because Brock asked him to.
Yeah, he did.
So that's a true story. He kept a book during the game last night, and he brought out the book, and we were sitting right behind home plate next to each other, and I looked over and said, "You're going to score this?" And he said, "Brock asked me to do it." I said, "No, that's cool. That's really nice that you're doing that." So,
where does Brock
play?
So
that was neat. Brock plays all over, too. He plays some first. He played some second last night. He pitched last night for an inning. So they both move around a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. And you're right, Jeff and I don't call as many games together anymore, so we make sure we call those games together when we're sitting there, so we can fall right back into our routine when we're on the Brewers Radio Network together.
Yes.
Here coming up on this next road trip.
Well, I think it's a nice touch that you bring Kent along, too, so he's handing you live reads and hot dogs. He's right there with you.
He goes everywhere with us. He's so dedicated to this broadcast and trying to keep it sharp. And where would we be without Slammer?
That's so good. A lot of victories over the weekend. Good stuff. Whether your kids or the Brewers, everything you called turned out to be a win.
Baseball was really fun this weekend. It was great. The team to come in and sweep the Pirates like they did, it was needed. And it was just great to see them, especially yesterday, come from behind and win a game like that. I thought was a great sign for this team. And always good when you can get a sweep and then hand the ball to Corbin Burns to start up the very next series. Even though the Diamondbacks coming in are playing really good baseball, and this is one of the better teams in the National League right now.
The only struggles I saw over the weekend were from the sausages because the adult sausages all fell down. That was headline news. And then they had the little sausages on Sunday.
Yeah.
And the poor Italian took a digger. That
was bad. When the adults went down, I made sure, but it was good. But then I laughed. Let's be honest, I laughed. I held my breath for a while when the little ones went down. I mean, you always are hoping everybody's okay, and you never want to see tears at the end of the sausage race. It's supposed to be the memory of a lifetime. So I hate to see the little guys go down.
And it was like slow motion, Lane. You could see the little one's feet were moving too fast. They was getting top heavy, and then it went down. But popped up though. He seemed okay.
It's that thing gets. My kids have run in the mini sausage race a couple of times, and I mean it's competitive. If they don't there's a lot of excuses if they don't win. Well, I didn't get tagged in time, or my adult sausage wasn't running fast enough. It's never their fault. It is never their fault.
My adult sausage wasn't running fast enough. There's a line for the promo.
I don't think I've ever said that sentence before, now that I think of it.
That's going in the promo. I can guarantee you that. There we go. It's already marked. Oh, good stuff. Hey, injury standpoint, Brewers getting healthier here. I've seen some news on Brandon Woodruff that he might get back soon, but I'm wondering if it's a pre-All-Star game thing or likely after.
I think it's likely after, because he's going to need a full build-up, very similar to what he would. I mean, you're probably looking at, I would say, close to 4 starts for him in the minors before he could get back to the big league level again. So I think you're probably looking at post-All-Star break with Brandon, but he is, making progress and getting himself to that point where hopefully he can have a huge impact down the stretch for this team. And, of course, getting Wade Miley back this weekend was a big deal. That was really big. Matt Bush is trending in a good direction in AAA right now, too, where you could see him back in this bullpen, I think, at some point in the near future. So some really good things there. They got Jesse Winker back earlier this week, and he got a hit yesterday and drew a big walk as well. So hopefully this team getting a little bit more healthy. And they're also getting a little healthier in the minors, which is something to pay attention to. Sal Frelick is back in AAA, and he's hitting, and that's a guy that if he can put together a solid couple of weeks, I think is another guy you could see after the All-Star break if he plays well.
So 3 games against the Diamondbacks rounds out the homestand. I was looking ahead here. The All-Star break is actually a little earlier in July than usual.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe like a 3-week race, and then sort of see where the dust settles here. That's always a great check-in point on this crowded division to see if there's any separation.
Yeah, it is earlier this year, Greg, and you always look at where the All-Star break is. One of the first things you do when you get the new schedules, where's that All-Star break? Because it's a great 4 days where you can just exhale a little bit before you get back into things again for that second half. Thursday, after this series is over, is the last off day before the All-Star break for the Crew. They go on the road, come back home, and play the Cubs over the 4th of July, and then wrap up with the Reds, and then here we are at the break. And it seems wild because when you're in it like the Brewers are, and like every team in Major League Baseball is in terms of being in it every day and coming to the ballpark every day, it goes so fast. And it feels like we were just at Wrigley opening up the season, and here we are almost to the break. And the break is past the halfway point. I mean, tonight's game number 72. So on this next road trip, we're going to hit the halfway point in the season, which is also really hard to kind of process.
He is Brewers broadcaster Lane Grindle. Lane, we love Mondays. Always good to have you with us. Thank you so much.
Love being with you guys. Absolutely.
He is such a good sport. And you're his neighbor.
Grindles are spending a lot of time in the yard over the weekend.
Yeah. There's something just very fun about that. Let's get you some Annex Wealth Management business news here. The markets are closed to commemorate the Juneteenth holiday, but home builder confidence in June is turning positive for the first time in 11 months. Supply chain issues, reports out today that is really back on the right track, and oil falls a little bit on uncertainty about Chinese economic growth. So the markets are closed today. They'll be back open tomorrow. Quick reminder of how they did on Friday, the last posted day. The S&P 500 was off 16. The Dow was off 109. The NASDAQ off 93. Despite that, the best week last week that we've had since March when it comes to the markets. Annex Wealth Management, our sponsor for the markets. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning is a fee-only fiduciary. It's not the time to set it and forget it. Get help now. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. It's Annex Wealth Management.
Oh, sure. Milwaukee traffic's nothing, they said. You can get anywhere in 5 minutes, they said. I've been sitting here forever. Oh, wait, I know who can help out.
Looks like we've got a full 3-way closure on 43 northbound, starting right about at Silver Spring. If you're caught in the backups, you want to exit at Hampton and make your way over to Highway 57.
Thanks, Debbie.
No problem, noble commuter. You can hear me mornings and afternoons on WTMJ.
Thanks, Deb. Hey, Greg. No, it's not Greg. Yes, it is. Wisconsin. It's Greg Matzey for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. The summer road trip sale is going on. That means perfect time to gear up for all the adventures ahead. Get more for your trade and say yes to enticing offers on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. How about a GM certified pre-owned model? They've got some for you as well. Expansion is underway, and it's a rapidly expanding selection available for you. So why not explore what's new? Treat yourself to a test drive and experience Holiday's genuine guest care. It's refreshingly different. They have a simplified buying approach that's wonderful to take advantage of. It is the stuff that delights drivers from all over the state who have made Holiday Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer and Buick Dealer of the Year. Accolades are per 2022 Buick and GMC Zone sales records. I'm a repeat customer and a big-time fan. I can tell you this. With confidence, you're in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. So find yours and discover the difference during the summer road trip sale. It's going on now at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac. Check them out online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Garage door broke. Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis. Need a new garage door? Do it right. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new CHI maintenance-free garage door. In fact, a recent study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%, ranking #1 among all home improvement projects. To see our huge selection of doors, come visit us at our Brookfield location or view our online showroom at geisdoors.com. We have everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, call Geis at 262-784-4250 or visit us online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
I'm a numerologist. What's your favorite number?
48. Because right now at Hasselus Mattress, you get 48 months interest-free financing on our 3 most popular Tempur-Pedic mattresses.
The number 48 is associated with stability.
Like the stability and comfort of Tempur-Pedic.
Abundance.
Like the abundance of sleep you'll enjoy with a Tempur-Pedic mattress from Hasselus.
Prosperity and wealth.
Because you get a $300 MasterCard Rewards gift card with your select Tempur-Pedic purchase.
The number 48 is a sign that you have chosen the right path in life.
Just like you can choose your favorite Tempur-Pedic mattress at Hasselus without commission-hungry salespeople breathing down your neck.
Really?
Yes.
Do you deliver?
Free next-day delivery.
I think 48 may be my favorite number too.
Enjoy 48 months interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic at Hasselus Mattress. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at hasselus.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a teenager has died in a moped crash.
I'm Sandy Max. In search of Titanic tourists.
I'm Greg Matzik. Analytics favor the Brewers.
Debbie Laziga, and we do have some heavy delays right now along southbound 41 from Appleton Avenue all the way down to basically Burleigh and then back on the brakes around North Avenue's curve. It's going to take you about 20 minutes to make it from Highway Q to the zoo. The northbound side is still dealing with an accident right about at Watertown Plank Road on the left shoulder. Southbound 43, very heavy. We're still at about a 30-minute ride from Brown Deer Road to downtown. Most of that happening from Brown Deer Road down past Locust. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low 60. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84. Right now, sunny and 74 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a 16-year-old boy is dead after a moped crash this morning. Milwaukee police say the 16-year-old was speeding on a moped when he collided with a truck that was turning near 26th and Greenfield. The boy was taken to a local hospital where he later died. The driver of the truck stayed on the scene and cooperated.
An investigation underway into a deadly crash involving an Amish buggy happened this morning outside Darlington in southwestern Wisconsin. A 19-year-old woman and horse were killed after the buggy was hit by a semi-truck on Highway 81. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office says the woman was traveling from Platteville to Darlington when the crash occurred.
Cudahy police say there's no evidence a crime was committed following a shelter-in-place order overnight. Police were called to the area of Carpenter and Packard Avenue late Sunday on a report of someone being seen jumping from one roof to the other. When they arrived, officers believed they were being shot at. The police department says an armored vehicle was used to rescue the officers. Investigators now say they identified a residence and spoke to the people who live there. They are said to be cooperating with the investigation, and as of now, no evidence of a crime was discovered.
A desperate search is underway right now about 900 miles east of Cape Cod at the Titanic wreckage site. A submersible that takes scientists and tourists to the site has gone missing. ABC's Alex Stone reports.
The 21-foot submersible with 5 people on board has not been heard from since Sunday. Deep-sea exploring company OceanGate reported it did not surface. U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger says submarine hunter aircraft are being used to try to find it.
To listen for any sounds that we can detect in the water column.
If it's stuck at the Titanic site, it could be 13,000 feet down. There is enough air on board to survive for 96 hours if the people inside are alive. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Juneteenth celebrations are underway in Milwaukee. During opening ceremonies, Mayor Cavalier Johnson touted the growth of the festival.
And this celebration, over the years, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. The number of vendors keeps growing. The number of participants keeps on growing.
The 52nd annual Juneteenth parade was held earlier today.
While plenty of people turned out, Sherwin Hughes of 101.7 The Truth says representation from Milwaukee's major businesses was lacking.
Corporate Milwaukee has huge representation in other festivals and celebrations, but in Juneteenth, not nearly as much.
Festivities for the holiday will be streamed all day on 101.7 The Truth.
Why it could be a quiet draft night for the Bucks, Greg explains up next in sports.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:33.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too, because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Grandview buys homes. Hi, I'm Tom Delich here to tell you Grandview will buy your home in any condition. Wait a minute, you ask. What about water damage? Yes, Grandview will buy your home. Mold in the attic? Yes, we'll buy your home. Cracks in the foundation? Yes, Grandview will buy your home also. The fact is, we buy homes in any condition. Maybe your home hasn't been updated in 20 or 30 years. No problem. Grandview will buy your home. Or maybe your belongings are stacked up to the ceiling and you just need to move on. Grandview will buy your home too. Not only do we buy homes in any condition, you don't have to lift a finger to sell your home. We'll give you a fair cash offer in 48 hours and close on the day you choose. Then only take the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. The folks at Grandview understand your situation and will always treat you with dignity and respect. So sell your home as is today. Call the name you know and the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzek.
Oh, last time we spoke about the Brewers, they were mired in a 6-game losing streak and out of first place in the division. 3 games later, 3 days later, the Brewers are back on top of the division after sweeping the Pirates in a weekend series. Nicely done. How about Joey Wiemer hitting a home run on Saturday while free mullet haircuts were being given in the outfield?
You know, he's driving the baseball, which he's very capable of. The opposite field homers have started to come, which is, you know, a great sign for any hitter. So he's putting together a really nice first season in the big leagues.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Diamondbacks are in town tonight. They're in first place in the NL West. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Our coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news. The Reds are the hottest team in baseball. They've won 8 straight games. They do begin the day a half game back of Milwaukee for first place in the division. And draft week in the NBA, the Phoenix Suns are adding some offensive punch, finalizing a trade with the Washington Wizards to acquire All-Star guard Bradley Beal. Beal choosing the Suns over the likes of the Bucks, Heat, and Kings, according to The Athletic's Shams Charania.
Professional football in America is a special game. The men who play it make it so.
And And we continue to count down the top 100 first-round draft picks in Packers franchise history. In 1947, Packers selected Ernie Case, a halfback out of UCLA. This guy's story is amazing, as he never really did much for the Packers. He was drafted by the Packers, but never played for the Packers. In fact, he didn't even finish up his time at UCLA because of, John?
The war.
World War II.
Yes.
That's right. He was the first quarterback selected in the 1947 NFL draft out of UCLA. So he enrolls at UCLA. Doesn't finish his time there. He was motivated by the December 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor. They told his coach he's leaving. He's going to enlist in the Army Air Corps.
Wow.
And he trained as a pilot, flew as a captain of a bomber on a European front, flying 12 missions without any issue. The 13th mission, there was an issue. Plane was shot down by Italian forces. He leapt out of the plane. He broke his hip, shattered while parachuting from his plane, and he was captured by enemy forces. He was in the hospital, then held in Italy. POW camps started to get moved from Italy to Germany. As that transition was happening, he escaped. He broke free.
Whoa.
He and one of his comrades broke free. They survived in Italy, getting food from friendly Italians, and ultimately made his way back to the United States. He received a Purple Heart.
That's
for his
amazing.
heroic duties while in combat.
That gives me goosebumps. That's
just incredible stuff. Never suited up for the Packers. He ended up joining the Baltimore Colts out of a newfound football league at the time, but he was drafted by the Packers in 1947. Ernie Case.
That's a great story. Thanks for sharing that.
They at least knew character when they saw it, that's for sure.
You got that right.
Darn right.
4:39 at WTMJ.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage, ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit buytheyard.net. That's buytheyard.net.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
Yeah, I'd like 9 windows, please. I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes. Pella's design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal.
Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
And isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
A Broadway musical based on the music of Alanis Morissette is coming to the Miller High Life Theater next month. The show, like her 1995 album, is called Jagged Little Pill. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano spoke with the music director for the show, who's also part of the 8-piece band that cranks out all the music live on stage.
The show is called Jagged Little Pill. So am I to assume that we're getting all of the Alanis music, right?
You are getting all of the tracks, all
Yes.
12 tracks, and you are also getting some bonus material from later albums that are a little less known and less popular because, of course, it's hard to be more popular than Jagged Little Pill. And then we have a couple of songs that Alanis wrote specifically for the show.
Talking with Matt Dobler. He is the music director for Jagged Little Pill. It comes to Milwaukee in July. So that was my next question, though, Matt, is even if you know the music, what is the story? What's the book? What story are you telling?
The scriptwriter, Diablo Cody, who just did a brilliant job, she's looked at the song Mary Jane, which is on the album, and said, and worked backwards. You know, she said, who is this person? Who is Mary Jane? Who is this, being sung about? What happened to her to, that would make this song and the lyrics, make sense? And so she created this story of a suburban Connecticut family headed by Mary Jane, who's, the typical, what you would, might have called soccer mom, somebody who's just does everything and is in control of everything, runs the ship and isn't taking care of herself as a result.
What's the matter, Mary Jane? Had a hard day. So place the don't disturb sign on the door.
Blessing or a curse, Matt, that audiences are coming in very well versed and already having a relationship with the music, and then they're there to hear your presentation of it?
Well, it is probably a little bit of both, but I wouldn't, curse anybody or, feel like that, because people do sing along sometimes. It is not supposed to be a sing-along show, of course. We're not, right? But people can't help themselves. I sit sometimes I'm watching the show in the back, to take notes, and my associate conductor is conducting, and I just hear people singing along to Ironic, like once the chorus starts.
It's like rain on your wedding day. It's a free ride on your boy babe. It's the good advice that you just didn't take. And who would have thought it figured?
Jagged Little Pill, July 28th through the 30th at Miller High Life Theater, PabstTheaterGroup.com for showtimes and tickets. It is 4:43 at WTMJ. It is Juneteenth Day. A little bit of history and our good friend Tori Lowe from 101.7 The Truth. That's up next.
No, he's not going to put you in the lineup. But luckily, this is the closest you can get to the skipper himself.
I mean, Robin is the all-time Brewer for sure.
Greg Council, every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45.
Willie is, I think a player that, is capable of taking down some of the things that Robin has done.
This is Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. Too much turmoil, too much worry about the economy. Is now the time to put your investment and retirement planning in the hands of professionals? I say yes. It's a great time to talk to the folks at Annex Wealth Management. It's sure not the time to set it and forget it. Go with the teams I trust at Annex, where they operate as one team. The financial planning team is in-house. Investment team in-house. Not done by an outside contractor. Same with tax planners and the estate planning team. I've used all these teams. You'll always have a local team working on your behalf. And it's easy to meet with Annex. They've got locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, including inside the Pfister and Elm Grove and in Mequon and Lake Country, Illinois, Florida, and as close as your computer. If you want to meet online, that's not a problem. Annex Everywhere. That's what it's called, Annex Everywhere. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. Schedule your own appointment. That's Annex Wealth Management. Proud partner of the University of Wisconsin. Fee-only fiduciary.
Life is short, and if we spend our time suffering with pain and it takes away our joy, that's not a very good way to live.
He's right. It's hard to be happy when you're in constant pain. QC Kinetics patient Chad admits the chronic pain in his knee really robbed his quality of life.
When I was going to the traditional doctor and getting the pain pills, my smile wasn't as big as it usually is. Going to my high school reunion on crutches, it was awful.
But then Chad visited QC Kinetics. He experienced the real power behind natural regenerative treatments. Using healing properties from his own body, QC Kinetics was able to restore and repair damaged tissue, finally giving Chad lasting relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime.
And I'm feeling on top of the world because of QC Kinetics.
Learn how advanced regenerative medicine can help your body heal itself at QC Kinetics. Call now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
J&J Contractors' skilled and certified team members use high-quality materials for all of your exterior needs. Roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. Contact them today. Just Google J&J Contractors.
Traffic and weather sponsored by J&J Contractors, Southeast Wisconsin's most trusted home remodeler since 1983. We trust her on the roads every single day. How are we doing right now, Deb?
Well, they are still backed up a bit. We do have this accident northbound 41 still at Watertown Plank Road, off on the left shoulder. The southbound side heavy from just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Mayfair Road. Still seeing some delays along southbound 43 too, from Brown Deer Road all the way down to about Locust. That's where we're seeing those delays. Right now, Brown Deer Road to downtown's a half an hour. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, more good sleeping, weather low of 60. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 84. Wednesday, sunny, 84. Thursday, mostly sunny, 83. And on Friday, partly cloudy and high of 83 degrees. It's currently 75. It is Juneteenth Day today. Big celebration. Milwaukee hosting one of the oldest in the nation, the oldest parade. It's quite a special day here in our community. Shaka Smart is the head coach for Marquette University basketball, and he spoke a little bit on Juneteenth's meaning to him and Marquette basketball's role in the Milwaukee black community.
It's a celebration of our community. It's a celebration of how far we've come. I think it's also an acknowledgement of the progress that we need to continue to make. But let's make no mistake about it. You know, any points of pride that our black community has here in Milwaukee are positive, and we need more and more of those. And if at Marquette our basketball team can be a small part of that, then we're excited about that.
Tory Lowe. He's like his own weather system, the way he spins around this building. He's a guy who gets things done. Our friend from 101.7 The Truth, 1 to 4, The Tory Lowe Show. Tory, good afternoon, my man.
Hey, how y'all doing? How
Man.
y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me on the show.
We're so honored to have you on the show. So you've been out at the heart of these celebrations today. Tell us what it's like out there in Milwaukee today.
Oh, powerful, powerful day. Beautiful celebration. A lot of different cultural ideas. A lot of people coming together to celebrate freedom. It was beautiful.
You know, Tory, this is about Emancipation Day, Jubilee Day, whatever you want to call it, on this date in 1865. A couple of years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, the last slaves were freed in Texas. But it seems to me, Tory, like it's become much more than that. It's a recognition of that, of course, and we can't forget what happened, but it's become a real celebration, a joyous occasion as families and communities come together.
Oh, it's definitely a reminder of our ancestors and what they had to go through. And now we're celebrating not only our ancestors, but what we can do to continue the struggle here in America. It's still so many things that we still need to overcome, but yet today is a celebration of the past, present, and future. And I think it was just a nice day. God blessed us with a beautiful day. And, you know, I'm excited. I was very excited. The Truth is down there. We were broadcasting live. All of the Truth talent was down there. We was in the parade. It was just a beautiful thing to see.
I feel like one of the fun celebrations, as really embraces the joy of this day, one of the most charming things are the scholarships that are being awarded through the pageants of Miss Juneteenth and Little Miss Juneteenth and Mr. Juneteenth and Mr. Juneteenth Jr.
Right.
I just find that very charming.
Well, you know, I judged one of the Juneteenth pageants before, you know, a couple of years ago, and those things are awesome. You see a lot of people, a lot of talented people coming forward, being gifted scholarships. I mean, it's just a beautiful thing to see how far the celebration of Juneteenth. Milwaukee has one of the oldest Juneteenth celebrations in the United States. So it's just amazing to see how far we've come over the years.
Tory Lowe with us on WTMJ. Tory, you're connected to this community like no one else that I know. When you think about the state of race relations in the city of Milwaukee and think about the future, are you more optimistic or are you more worried?
Well, like I said, when you look at the political landscape, everybody should be worried, black, white, when it comes to the next couple generations. And, you know, we all seeing a lot of things happen in America that make you want to raise an eyebrow. But I think that we as a people, we have to stay hopeful, and we also have to implement the plan. We have to start becoming more solutionary-based and result-based when it comes to furthering economics, education, neighborhood development. It's just up to us as a people, as a community, to make sure that we're locked in and really aiming to get some real progress in today's times.
So when you think about things that are going on at the state level and how that trickles down to Milwaukee, and I know we've talked about shared revenue and taxes and all of that sort of thing, are we focused on the right things in Madison as our priorities?
Well, you know, I don't like the shared revenue idea as far as we're losing the right to have a referendum. The people are losing the right to say if they want to be taxed. A lot of times that's taxation without representation. But a lot of people will say, hey, those are your elected officials. Maybe these people are supposed to have the best interest of the people at hand. But to me, I feel like many times when you lose certain games, like where the Fire Police Commission is losing some power, where, we may public schools, private schools are gaining tax dollars. There's a lot of things in there that we know that is not beneficial to the people. And then a 7% tax hike, it's going to be very hard on a lot of people that are living in the disenfranchised community.
So, Tori, I'm with you, and I cannot understand how we cannot be going to referendum on the tax questions. And I understand what they're saying. You know why we're not going to referendum? Because they're scared that people will vote no. But to me,
right,
if it's too hard to explain why they should vote yes, then there's something wrong with that. Let the people speak.
And you're right. I'm like, let the people dictate. That's what they're there for, to serve the people. I really think this was about pensions, in my personal opinion. I believe they made sure they secured their pensions and their family's future, because why would you vote no against having monies put into the pension? We all know that there's issues with public schools. Even when the budget was okay, even when we had good budgets, we always had issues with public schools. We always had issues with the police, things like that. But now it seems like they're cutting out the people from the conversation because, and this is my opinion, that they want to make sure that they get monies, a pension, in the end for themselves. That's how I feel about it.
All right, Tori, we could talk about this all day, and I love your perspective and your opinion, but I want to get back to Juneteenth and ask you, what's your favorite part about today?
Well, my favorite part is the food, the culture. It was beautiful people out there today. I even seen a woman that looked like Cleopatra out there walking around. Elizabeth Brown, looked like she was dating King Tut. You know what I mean? So to me, it was just a beautiful thing to see. And, I'm looking forward to, what we can do as a community working together. A lot of vendors, a lot of different food items. It was just beautiful to see.
A good gathering and a good celebration. And when that creativity happens, you like to think that creativity is going to keep on flowing and hopefully come up with some creative solutions as people get together and hopefully carry this feeling forward.
Well, I've seen the police chief was out. He came by and stopped by where we were broadcasting live. Mandela Barnes stopped over. A lot of the different politics ideas stopped in just to show, respect and love. But at the end of the day, we have to make sure that we're taking a direct, hands-on approach to a lot of these issues. And many times when it's bad, you got to roll up your sleeves and get to work. And I think that we have to answer the call. It's our generation turn to be what we want to see.
Tori Lowe, it's the Tori Lowe Show, 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth. Tori, thank you so much for being with us. We always appreciate you.
Hey, look, I love being on y'all's show. Keep doing a great job, and I appreciate you guys for having me on.
It is 4:55 at WTMJ. Coming up during the 5 o'clock hour, an interesting survey amongst our senior community on what's important to them and what their favorite year in life was. At what age did they feel the absolute best? We'll share that with you, and meteorologist Kristen Kershane with us live as well. Business headlines are up next. It's 4:56.
Almost dinner time. That means time to get the oven preheated and pop in a Palermo's. There you go. Everybody's happy tonight. If you don't have Palermo's in your freezer, maybe time to stop off at the store before you get home. Check out Festival Foods, Piggly Wiggly, Sendik's, Woodman's, and Pick and Save. You will find Palermo's wherever you like to shop. Pick up a Screamin' Sicilian. How about the stuffed crust Screamin' Sicilian? That's right. They're putting 2.5 feet of cheese right in the crust. I didn't think they could make that pizza any better. They have found a way. Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza, has a great variety of frozen pizza, whatever you're looking for. If you like the thin crust, there you go, Primo Thin. A little more Neapolitan style, there's the neighborhood pizzeria, the Screamin' Sicilian, like I mentioned, overflowing with toppings. Stop off at the store, load up the freezer, plop one in the oven tonight, then on the table for dinner. Everyone's happy with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Sean Ryan at the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Craft brewers and distillers are awaiting a vote this week by the Wisconsin Assembly on a bill to clarify and lighten a hodgepodge of state regulations that affect their brewpubs and tasting rooms, but not bars. Microsoft Corporation announces 200 jobs for the $1 billion first phase of its data center development in Mount Pleasant, but it could add 460 more jobs over time. Demand for higher-priced homes in Wauwatosa prompts local developers to increase the size of condos they are planning near the Village neighborhood. Those condos could sell for $1.2 to $1.5 million. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
For 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has set the standard for excellence in hospitality. Its reputation for offering impeccable service and luxurious accommodations is simply unmatched. For your next getaway, pamper yourself with a stay at the Pfister Hotel. Enjoy an evening of fine dining at its classic restaurant, Mason Street Grill. Unwind with a skin, body, or hair treatment at the Pfister Well Spa and Salon. Take in live music with a view from the 23rd floor at Blue Cocktail Lounge. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
An official message from Medicare. Don't let preventable diseases stop you from doing the things you love. Medicare Part D now covers all recommended vaccines, like tetanus and shingles, at no cost to you. That means you don't have to stop whipping up your favorite recipes or dusting off your guitar to show that rock stars never get old. Talk to your doctor about which vaccines are right for you so you can keep doing the things you love. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Breakthroughs aren't just for medical journals. They're to help people hold their grandbabies for the first time. Expertise isn't just for awards or recognition. It can be what gives people the best chance to walk again. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, people are the driving force behind everything we do. So we never lose sight of what's important. And we never forget who it's for. Because in the end, we're people helping people. That means every breakthrough, every clinical study, every interaction is to help people like you, your family, and your neighbors be the best they can be. We do everything humanly possible because we see everything humanly possible in you. To find out how compassion motivates world-class care, visit Froedtert.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is brought to you by the senior real estate specialists at brucesteam.com, with you every step of the way. From downsizing to selling the long-time home, the senior real estate specialists at Bruce's Team are with you every step of the way. 262-242-6177.
Some snakes are loose in American Family Field. Time to smoke them out.
Backtrack Wall. See you later.
Our Brewers D-backs coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers Warm-Up on News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, developing story, large police presence in Milwaukee.
I'm Sandy Max. A fatal worker accident at Lambeau Field.
I'm Greg Matzik. Well, somebody has to win it.
I'm Debbie Lazica. We're seeing delays on 94 eastbound from Highway 16 through the Zoo Interchange. 14 minutes there, a 3-minute backup. Then from the Zoo to downtown, another 9. Most of that happening between 84th and Hawley Road. Southbound 41 going to be heavy from Appleton Avenue down past North Avenue. And then southbound 43, pretty hefty ride there. 31 minutes from Brown Deer Road into the downtown area. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, an air quality alert for most of southeast Wisconsin runs until 11 o'clock. Clear skies, a low of 56. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 85 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a large police presence as we speak with fire and rescue as well. Multiple ambulances near the site of today's Juneteenth celebration. Reports of a possible shooting taking place there. We see lots of police tape on the scene, officers on bicycles, on foot, and in squad cars. More details as they become available here at WTMJ or on the WTMJ mobile app.
The construction worker who got trapped at Lambeau Field due to a work accident on Thursday has died from his injuries. The worker was an employee at Mavid Construction. The company says the carpenter was critically injured while working at Lambeau Field and died from critical injuries on Saturday. TMJ4 News reporting a statement from Mavid says the worker was a second-generation employee who worked alongside his father and brother at Mavid Construction.
A shooting at a Seattle area bus stop has left a 17-year-old dead. ABC News says that Tukwila Police Department is in charge of that scene where the shooting happened at a bus stop near a high school. The injured teen was taken to the hospital in critical conditions, but he did not survive. Initial investigations show the boy was shot after an altercation with another person, and detectives are not treating it as a random incident. The Tukwila Major Crimes Unit has taken over the case, and the shooter is still on the loose.
Milwaukee celebrating Juneteenth today.
Happy Juneteenth Day, everyone. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley celebrating the holiday during the opening ceremonies of the city's event and calling for others to join in the party. It's a time for folks who ain't never been down here on Martin Luther King Drive to come experience fellowship, to come experience some music and great company. Other dignitaries on hand included Governor Evers, Senator Tammy Baldwin, and Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson. And this celebration, over the years, is growing bigger and bigger and bigger. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Sherwin Hughes of 101.7 The Truth says Juneteenth should be celebrated by everyone, not just black people.
There should be a bigger diversity at Juneteenth Day than there is. Now, I mean, there's people from all walks of life, but the crowd is still overwhelmingly majority black, and Milwaukee still has, 40% Caucasian folks. Like, why aren't they here, in those kinds of numbers celebrating our liberation?
And we're looking at live pictures coming into our newsroom as we speak. A large police presence at the site of some of those Juneteenth celebrations. There are officers with long rifles drawn, officers on horseback, officers on their bicycles standing in the park near Chambers and MLK. Police presence, police tape, crowds being dispersed. We'll bring you more information as we get it into our WTMJ newsroom.
A nonstop flight to Washington, D.C. will soon be offered at Milwaukee Mitchell Airport. American Airlines will begin running flights to the nation's capital this October. In November, American Airlines will fly nonstop from Milwaukee to Miami.
Greg Matzek Sports, right after the break.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Welcome to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. May I take your order?
I'd like 9 windows, please.
Of course. All our products are custom made just for you.
I'm hoping they'll match my home.
Of course they can. Have it your way.
Excuse me? We're talking about windows, right?
Yes, we customize any decor. Our design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee.
So you're like my personal barista for windows and doors.
Exactly. And you couldn't have picked a better time because if you customize your order by August 31st, you can bundle and save big.
Good deal. That was easy.
Thank you. Drive through.
Pella's premium wood windows and patio doors feature distinguished craftsmanship and nearly endless possibilities. Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Visit PellaWI.com.
In Wisconsin, our festivals and events are in full swing all summer long. Here's to seeing legendary golfers at the U.S. Senior Open Championship in Stevens Point, to joining thousands of your closest music-loving friends at Summerfest in Milwaukee, and to wondering, where art thou, Romeo? At the Wisconsin Shakespeare Festival premiere this summer in Eau Claire. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Find more summer events at TravelWisconsin.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. I've played sports my entire life, been hurt a lot of times, but never had been injured until I had to stop doing the sports I enjoyed because my knee flat wouldn't allow it. I visited Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, where they took great care of me. I put my knee in their doctors' capable hands, and now I'm back in the gym, carrying my golf bag, pain-free for 18 holes, and playing tennis as often as I like with no issues. I'd recommend Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin to anyone. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Brewers and Diamondbacks tonight from American Family Field. Brewers have won 3 straight games. They maintain a half-game lead over Cincinnati for first place in the NL Central. Reds have won 8 straight games. And it's draft week in the NBA. The Bucks currently own 1 selection in Thursday's 2-round event. It's pick number 58 overall. Bradley Beal on his way to Phoenix. The Suns and Wizards finalizing a trade for the All-Star guard.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports commentary on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Here's Greg Matzik.
Well, somebody has to win the NL Central. Why not the Brewers? Well, whoever is doing extra points in Cincinnati today is likely saying the same thing about the Reds. Likewise in Pittsburgh. On Friday, the Brewers were mired in a 6-game losing streak. 3 days later, the Brewers are back on top of the division after a 3-game sweep of the Pirates. Well, hop into the world of analytics, and you'll find that the Brewers are on pace to finish the season with a modest 82 wins. But that total, according to Fangraphs, will be enough to win the NL Central. The same publication believes the Cardinals will finish last with 76 wins. Well, no team in the division has been in first place longer this season than the Brewers. No team in the division is hotter than the Reds, who are riding an 8-game winning streak. No team is running away with the division, and no team is out of it. Whether you think the Brewers are a great team or not is irrelevant. What is relevant are the standings, and the Brewers are on top.
Extra Points sponsored by All Right Home and Remodeling. When you want it done right, call All Right.
Did you know that the Inflation Reduction Act can save you thousands on energy-efficient updates like new insulation, siding, windows, and more? And these dollars are in addition to Focus on Energy rebates. I'm Randy Miller, owner of All Right Home and Remodeling and S&E Insulation. As Department of Energy Century Club award winners, my team has the proven skills and experience to help you take advantage of these unprecedented incentives. Get started at ALLRITE-remodeling.com.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize them, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. Here at Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money's managed, you're not getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage, available at Navage.com.
This is Jim Griffin with Summer Service Specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. Good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's John McCure.
All right, Sandy, Greg, and Debbie are here also. We continue to monitor a situation in Milwaukee. Juneteenth celebrations have wrapped up, and there are reports that there was a shooting. Reports that we're trying to confirm. Lots of information still out there that we have not yet been able to nail down, but our newsroom is working on. We do know this. There's a large police presence at one of the parks where this took place in Milwaukee. Police on horseback, police on bikes, lots and lots and lots of police tape, and crowds have been dispersed. So we'll keep you updated. The WTMJ mobile app or WTMJ.com is also a great way to stay in touch with things. And WTMJ Cares, being led by Sandy Max, is going on right now, and this is a really good one.
I'm excited. We are preparing for next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to be at the Milwaukee County Zoo with American Red Cross and Gruber Law offices. It is a 3-day blood drive because you probably heard there is a shortage in blood supply happening right now this summer, mostly because people get too busy, or maybe people who haven't donated in a while haven't donated in a while. This is your chance to come join us, and it's easy to schedule your appointment. Go to WTMJ.com, or you can text the word blood, BLOOD, text blood to 855-616-1620. That's our Old National Bank talk and text line. If you text blood to 855-616-1620, we'll bounce a link right back to you, and you'll be just a few little thumb taps away from scheduling an appointment at your convenience at the zoo. And you know what's fun about the zoo?
Everything.
Exactly. Animals are waiting for you to stroll by and enjoy them. If you donate blood next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday at the Milwaukee County Zoo, you will get free same-day admission,
Awesome.
free parking,
Super awesome.
bonus, while supplies last, free tickets to Summerfest.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we want to show you our thanks in those ways for donating blood. And it's called WTMJ Cares because we care about the community. And if you donate 1 pint of blood, you've probably heard this before, you can touch 3 people's lives with just 1 pint. And sometimes those people are having cancer treatments.
Yep.
Sometimes those people have been in an accident that no one expects. So that blood can be used a lot of different ways. But if you're thinking, yeah, that's nice that I can save 3 lives, what does it do for me? For the selfish people, it's okay. As RuPaul says, how can you love anybody else if you don't love yourself? Donate blood and you're doing something good for yourself. John, what are some of those ways? First of all, it creates the helper's high. You feel good.
I like that.
When you're doing
Yep.
something nice for other people.
Making a difference.
It really does. But even better, you can lower your risk of cancer. Regular blood donation may lower the risk of cancer because it releases oxidized iron in your bloodstream. Oxidized iron produces harmful free radicals that can build up in the bloodstream and cause cancers, particularly liver, lung, colon, and esophagus cancer.
I never knew that.
See? Ounces
Wow.
of prevention lowers the risk of heart disease because,
Uh-huh.
again, that excessive oxidized iron in your body can be harmful to cardiovascular health. And regular blood donors are 88% less likely than non-donors to have a heart attack.
Oh, 88%.
That is significant.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. And
Wow.
yes, there's strong evidence that blood donation lowers iron stored in the blood and liver, which reduces blood viscosity. That means it's less stress on the arteries and blood vessels and slows blood clotting that can cause heart attack and stroke.
Interesting.
So there, we've already helped you with preventing cancer, preventing heart disease, may even slow down the aging process because when you're donating blood, you're regenerating.
It's recycling and regenerating.
Yes. Burns calories.
Oh, all right.
It has been shown that blood donors can burn up to 650 calories during the donation process because your body's using that extra energy to replace the amount of donated blood, which
It's like
is
a
just
free
1
extra
pint.
workout.
See? And you do it while you're laying down and you're relaxed. It boosts.
I'm going to donate every week.
I wish you would. You can donate every 12
Yeah.
weeks. So that's why you become a regular donor if you donate once or twice a year. You are doing regular, you're doing good for your body. It also boosts liver health. And you know, we all like to put our livers through it on the
Sure.
weekends in particular.
Yeah.
Well, regularly donating blood improves liver health by removing excess iron from the body because your liver's job is to remove those toxins, but it can't do it effectively if it has a buildup of oxidized iron. And your blood donation on a regular basis removes excess iron from the body before it has a chance to deposit in your liver. So you are increasing your body's functionality by donating blood. You are improving your own health.
All right, so how do people get information? Let's get them signed up.
You go to WTMJ.com. You see a whole web page there.
Uh-huh.
Makes it easy to schedule your donation or text BLOOD, B-L-O-O-D, to the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. And you know what else you find out? What blood type you are. Because, John, it's
I
been
don't
so
know.
long since you've
Yeah,
donated,
I
you've
don't
forgotten.
know.
We can fix that. We'll welcome you back next
All
Monday,
right.
Tuesday, or Wednesday. Greg?
Let's do it.
Do you know your blood type?
I used to.
Oh.
I think I'm an O something.
Ooh, you're a desirable.
I am an O.
O can be used for everyone.
I know I'm an O.
Oh, how I wish you would join us.
Yes.
Next Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday.
I feel like I'm in the same boat as John here. I've donated, I think maybe it's been a while, 6-7 years ago.
Mhm.
And I knew I was an O of some sort, and I don't know now. And that's embarrassing.
No,
so I
don't-
need to find out.
Don't. There's no shame in that game.
I felt that way too.
And we just heard Mark Thomas, the CEO of the American Red Cross, tell us that people get busy, and that's one of the biggest reasons. So let us make it easy and convenient. John, Greg, I'll sidebar with you. Hopefully you'll join me next week, but hopefully you will join us. Text BLOOD to 855-616-1620 and schedule your appointments to join us with American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices at the zoo next week.
All right, 516 at WTMJ.
Had a rough week? Not to worry. Relax and join Jeff Wagner every Friday at 2:35 for Pop Culture Corner. Brought to you by Palermo's Pizza. Come tell us the best of the best in pop culture, and you could win a prize package from Palermo's.
What is the best movie sequel of all time? Your guilty pleasure on television? I've got a whole long list. Curious to hear from you.
It's Wagner's Pop Culture Corner. Fridays at 2:35 on WTMJ.
Integrity. Well, your home's integrity depends on all sorts of things, including the roof, the windows, and the doors, and of course the siding. Well, when your home's integrity falls apart, you have to call the people who will not in that situation. That's Siding Unlimited. Not only are they fix-it guys, they can do all manner of things to help beautify your home's exterior. Eric and Aaron Brown, they run the company right now, and they've taken the company over from their father, who started a siding company back in the day. Well, Eric and Aaron kept the name, but they expanded the line of services, all sorts of things. Everything I mentioned, as a matter of fact. Windows, doors, roofs, decks, siding, outdoor kitchen, you name it. Give them a call. Siding Unlimited, the best in the business. They've done a number of projects for us over the years, and I can tell you this, they do incredible work. Great products, great people, great installation teams. Siding Unlimited. Find them online at sidingunlimited.com.
Make your next family trip one for the history books at Old World, Wisconsin. Set against the natural beauty of the Kettle Moraine State Forest, you'll enter a one-of-a-kind place where the modern world fades away. Explore authentically restored homes, farms, stores, and workshops representing more than a century of Wisconsin history. Meet heritage farm animals, visit a one-room schoolhouse, lend a hand in the blacksmith shop, ride a high-wheel bicycle, and so much more. Travel through time and the stories of America's heartland. Get your tickets at oldworldwisconsin.wisconsinhistory.org.
Great prices, friendly associates, and brand names. That's what you'll find at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, save $80 on a Craftsman 189-piece 3-drive mechanics tool set. On sale, $159.99. Take $100 off a Hobart Handler 210 MVP MIG welder. On sale, $1049.99. And stay safe with auto-darkening welding helmets from KT. Available in a variety of patterns. Priced at $69.99. That's genuine value from Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Centers, Milwaukee Juneteenth parade celebrations are winding down. There is a large police presence in the area of MLK and Chambers. TMJ4's Miriam McCarr is there, and she is with us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah, so reportedly this happened right around 4:20 as the tents and the vendors were beginning to tear down and wind down. Officers reported to the scene with a report of shots fired. We can confirm that at least one person has been shot in this instance. It's still very active right now. We've got officers and paramedics still on scene and a number of armed police trying to push the crowd back as everyone is still trying to wind down and leave what was otherwise a really successful Juneteenth Day parade here in Milwaukee. So we're still working to learn more, learn exactly how many people may have been injured in this. So we'll be following the latest, and we'll keep you all updated as we learn more details.
It is so unfortunate in what had been a great day down there. I read on your website that TMJ4 news crews heard what they believed to be gunshots. Did you hear anything?
It wasn't me. It was some of our photojournalists and a reporter that was about to go live in 10 minutes, and they did hear gunshots and were there right by where it reportedly happened. So you said it best. It was otherwise a great day, a really positive atmosphere here, and it's unfortunate that right as things were winding down, this all sort of came out on scene.
So what can you see where you are now? Is there still a large police presence? Is there police tape? Kind of paint the picture for us.
Oh, yeah. So right now there is an entire line of police officers with helmets and battle gear, it looks like, just standing and making sure that crowds don't get past the police line. There's also a number of people that are still on the corner trying to figure out what exactly is going on. But we are right now at Burleigh and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, and that's where it seems a lot of the police presence is right now. There's also DPW crews that are just trying to clean the streets and do their job, and that's also been set back a little bit by the active scene here. But, yeah, we've got well over a dozen officers that are here, some even on horseback just arrived.
So, Miriam, I can see in some of the video coming in, and you're right there on the scene, kind of where the police are standing in that long line. Is there any interaction with people?
It doesn't look like it from where I am right now. Most of the people are being moved away and redirected. At the other end of the scene where we were, there was a lot of police tape and people trying to walk through, cars trying to walk through, but then they all, of course, had to be diverted. So it looks like they're just here to kind of keep up that barrier for now.
Are there ambulances there, or were there?
There were, on the other end of the scene near Locust Street, there were about 2 paramedics when we left just a short while ago. There were about 5 fire rigs that we saw on the scene when we got there, but they all eventually sort of filtered out. So we're hoping things are winding down.
Miriam, do you know anything about the condition of the person that was shot?
We don't have anything confirmed yet, but it seems that there are no fatalities in this case, which is, of course, always good to hear.
All right. Miriam Makar, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
This is infuriating. So we have this celebration. It's the oldest in the nation. It's fantastic. And a lot of really good things happened today. We had a parade that was beautiful all day long. I've been watching the video and the pictures and reading the reports, talking to our friends at 1017 The Truth, who talked about inclusivity and bringing people together and celebrating and acknowledging painful pasts and celebrating a look ahead to the future. And then it's winding down. The parade's wrapped up. The vendors are literally packing up the trucks and taking down the tents, and there's a shooting that takes place. The governor was here at this thing earlier today. The governor was here. What do you think the chances are the governor's people feel safe enough to bring him back to Milwaukee next year for the Juneteenth Day celebration? I don't know. We're thinking about Juneteenth. You know, where should we take the governor? You know, a couple things we're thinking about. Politically, what's best for him? Where do we need help? And, of course, where would he be most safe? Let's go back. Well, no, we're not going back to Milwaukee. Remember last year there was a shooting at the Juneteenth Day thing. I mean, not only is this infuriating and the common sense parts of this make you angry, like someone got hurt, someone could have been killed, but it's also embarrassing. You know what's going to happen now? On CNN and the other newscasts, we're going to have to look at when they talk about the Juneteenth Day celebrations. And, you know, in Milwaukee, the oldest one in America, someone got shot. Yeah, that's our city. That's where we are. No day is a good day for one person to shoot another. On Juneteenth, it's going to make national news. Congratulations, everybody. It's just embarrassing and awful. What are we doing? So what, next year are we not going to have a parade? Well, the governor's not going to be at the parade. I can damn well tell you that. And who else is going to be at the parade? Do we need David Crowley and the mayor to wear a bulletproof vest to go to a Juneteenth Day celebration? I mean, right now, there's more live pictures coming in. There is police tape up around this entire area near MLK and Chambers at the heart of the Juneteenth Day celebration. So instead of going home and everybody reminiscing about how powerful today was and what it meant, and, you know, maybe we're headed the right direction, now they're going home and they're talking about police responding to a shooting at our MLK Juneteenth celebration.
Just look how the coverage is flipped, right? And we've got 4 monitors here in our studio, and one is national with CNN, then we've got local monitors on. And closer to 5 o'clock, as we turn and looked at those monitors, it was everything that Tori Lowe talked about. Everything, right? The celebrations and the parades and, you know, just the get-together and the positive outlook from the community. And it was whites, and it was African-Americans, and it was this great sort of melting pot of people. And now I turn over, and it's police tape, and it's a barricade. It's police on horses.
And riot gear.
And an empty street that was filled with laughter, joy, scholarships being awarded for Mr. and Miss Juneteenth, like this real elevation and celebration of what the possibility of the emancipation can mean. And like you said, it's a stark contrast from people waving in vehicles and enjoying food together to now an empty street with a line of police officers.
So think about this. At 1 o'clock, I turned on the TV coverage, and I wanted to get a flavor for what was going on. And there were kids petting these beautiful police horses. They were nuzzling up to them, and they were petting them. And now the police horses are on the other side of police tape, making sure that people don't interfere with an active crime scene. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing at 5:30. A lot different than what we were doing at 1:30.
And the rest of the day, by the way, at 6 o'clock, at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Right? It just mutes.
This is what they're talking about
all
now.
of the great things that happened today. On a beautiful day, beautiful summer day. Kids are out of school. They're lining the streets. They're having fun. It's just, It's such a celebratory day, and it always seems to go backwards in Milwaukee.
And this gun activity
Always.
reinforces the worst stereotypes and the worst perceptions of the city.
Well, they're true. They're not just perceptions. People are getting shot at a Juneteenth Day celebration. That's reality. We need to own that. That's what it is. That happened in our city today. That's not a misperception. That happened in our city today. And it's embarrassing. It's 5:26 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Markets were closed today for Juneteenth. They will be open again tomorrow.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance. For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-330-1991. That's 1-800-330-1991. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-330-1991. SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
I love the Fox and Hounds. John Mercure here. The historic restaurant was recently voted the best supper club in the area. The best. It's the Fox and Hounds. First opened in 1933 and has been serving fabulous dinners for about 90 years in their rustic timber building. I was just in there. Absolutely beautiful. And this time of year with the flower gardens and all that stuff, it's pretty special. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free. 7 days a week, buy one, get one free. That's always special. So enjoy a world-class steak, seafood, pasta, big fresh dinner salad, even steak and lobster. Anything on the menu, your second dinner is free. Made from scratch desserts are also buy one, get one free at a Manhattan, old-fashioned, or choose from over 100 wines to accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds is family-owned and one of the most unique and affordable supper clubs in Wisconsin. Your second dinner is always free. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east and in the shadows of the beautiful Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive alone is spectacular. It's a must-see, so brighten up your Monday or Tuesday with a free dinner tonight at the famous Fox and Hounds.
The true variable speed capacity compressor on the Armstrong Air Pro Series is for the AC fanatic. Rather than running at 1 or even 2 speeds, this compressor changes its speed in small, precise increments and adjusts cooling up and down like a dimmer switch. So temperatures are held exactly where you want them, even in extremely hot weather. If you're an AC fanatic, this is the unit you want.
You gotta see the man in the red van. Quality heating, quality heating.
On a hot summer day when I walk through that door, I want to feel that cold air. Because we both know that is a great feeling. This is Anthony Zanevsky with Quality Heating. There's going to be a day when that AC of yours just isn't cranking like it used to. And that's when you want someone there fast, fixing it right the first time, because they've been doing it a long time. 20 service techs with over 20 years of experience. When you're in an AC emergency, see the man in the red van.
Quality heating, quality heating.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, breaking news, one person shot at Milwaukee's Juneteenth parade.
I'm Sandy Max. The wreck of the Titanic prompting an underwater emergency.
I'm Greg Matzik. From pirates to snakes.
I'm Debbie Laziga. We're seeing delays along southbound 43 stretching from just north of Good Hope Road all the way down past Locust. Right now from Brown Deer Road to downtown, it's going to take you 29 minutes. The northbound side, very heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keefe. Southbound 41 is still a bit backed up from just South Appleton Avenue all the way down to Burleigh. Back on the brakes right around the North Avenue curve. Eastbound 94 is still a little bit tight. We're looking at from the zoo into downtown, about an 8-minute ride. Most of that happening between 92nd Street and Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
An air quality advisory in effect for most of southeast Wisconsin until 11 o'clock tonight. Clear skies except for that haze, a low of 56. Tomorrow sunny, a high of 85, inland, cooler along the lake. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a developing story. Milwaukee police say one person has been shot after reports of shots fired toward the end of the Juneteenth parade in Milwaukee. TMJ4's Miriam McCarr is at the scene.
There are paramedics as well as a number of police investigators and officials on the scene. They arrived due to reports of shots fired, and ever since then, this block of MLK has been closed down.
Miriam told us live moments ago that a large police presence remains near MLK and Chambers.
A 16-year-old boy is dead after a moped crash this morning. Milwaukee police say the 16-year-old was speeding on a moped when he collided with a truck that was making a turn near 26th and Greenfield. The boy was transported to a local hospital where he later died. The driver of the truck remained on the scene.
An investigation is underway into a deadly crash involving an Amish buggy. It happened this morning outside Darlington in southwestern Wisconsin. A 19-year-old woman and horse were killed after the buggy was hit by a semi-truck on Highway 81. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Office says the woman was traveling from Platteville to Darlington when the crash occurred.
The hunt is on for a submersible that takes scientists and high-paying tourists to this Titanic site. It has gone missing with 5 people on board. ABC's Alex Stone.
It's unknown if the submersible is stuck at the Titanic crash site or if it's somewhere else. If the 5 on board are alive, Coast Guard Rear Admiral John Mauger says they should have enough air for right now, but the clock is ticking.
The vessel was designed with a 96-hour sustainment capability if there was an emergency on board.
Submarine hunter aircraft are being used to try to find it using sonar to listen underwater. If it is at the Titanic site, it could be 13,000 feet underwater. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Nearly 2,000 nurses have walked off the job in Oregon. They're striking after Providence hospitals failed to agree to their terms. ABC's Savannah Welch is in northeast Portland, outside of one of the medical facilities where nurses have been picketing for hours.
Nurses say they moved to strike after unwillingness from Providence to return to the bargaining table. And nurses and clinicians have been bargaining with Providence for almost 9 months now. And nurses say they're asking for better pay, better health care, better staffing, and reasonable sick and paid time off for workers. Providence did say they're bringing in a group of replacement nurses. The strike will last all week until Friday.
This is a limited duration strike, meaning it will only last 5 days, and the union did give the hospital warning so patients could be moved to other facilities.
The Brewers and the Salvation Army hosted the Feed the Kids kickoff this afternoon at American Family Field. Volunteers prepared 800 lunches that will go to local children in 21 different neighborhoods. They'll continue to make 1,200 lunches every day until August 25th. The Feed the Kids program has provided over 2.5 million lunches since 1990.
The streaking Brewers go for 4 in a row. Greg explains up next in sports.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:34.
Sports is sponsored by Holiday Automotive, Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale is on. Perfect timing to gear up for the adventures ahead, get more for your trade, and say yes to enticing offers on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or a GM-certified pre-owned model. Shop a rapidly expanding selection, explore what's new, and treat yourself to a test drive and experience Holiday's genuine guest care and refreshingly different, simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that delights drivers from all over the Badger State who have made Holiday Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer and Buick Dealer of the Year. Accolades are per 2022 Buick and GMC Zone sales records. As a repeat customer and fan myself, I can say with confidence you are in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. So find yours and discover the difference during the summer road trip sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Okay, so inventory, then suppliers, then staffing plan, overhead, and bookkeeping. Or suppliers first, then bookkeeping, inventory, overhead.
Running a small business can be full of distractions. U.S. Cellular wants to give small business owners one less thing to think about. 3 months of free service with 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot data.
Oh, that's nice.
Join the network that allows you and your business to focus on what really matters. Get 3 months of free service with 10 gigabytes of mobile hotspot data. U.S. Cellular. Built for business, built for us. Terms and conditions apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
Grandview buys homes. Hi, I'm Tom Delich, here to tell you Grandview will buy your home in any condition. Water damage, mold, cracks in the foundation, not a problem. Electrical issues, bad roof, peeling paint. We've seen and bought them all. Or maybe your home just hasn't been updated in 20 or 30 years. Grandview will buy your home too. Don't do a single repair. And best, take only the belongings you want and leave the rest to us. Sell your home as is today. Call the name you know and the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. Here's Greg Matzik.
Out with the Pirates, in with the Snakes. Brewers welcome in the Diamondbacks after sweeping Pittsburgh over the weekend. Brandon Woodruff scheduled to throw a bullpen session this coming weekend. He's been out for over a month. Back in the rotation after missing about a month is lefty Wade Miley. Picked up the win on Saturday after missing a month with a shoulder issue.
We've just gotten such quality from Wade. And that's important, and that quality that's leaving the game, every single time, every start, leaving the game in the lead or really in the game, and that's what's been consistent, and that consistency is going to get you a lot of W's.
Corbin Burns on the mound tonight for Craig Counsell as the team looks to make it 4 wins in a row. Thursday's NBA draft, just one component of the Bucks' interesting offseason. Milwaukee owns just one pick, number 58 overall, but it's the existing roster that brings about the most questions.
Chris Middleton has a player option, and Brook Lopez is an unrestricted free agent. They've got to make some pretty big decisions, and they don't have a lot of optionality if they decide to not have those players on their team, or those players decide to not be on their team, and that's Giannis is certainly watching all of that.
ESPN's Zach Lowe. Middleton, for what it's worth, has until June 29th to accept or decline the player option on his contract. Brook Lopez heading toward free agency. He will be free to negotiate with any team after July 1st. And Shams Charania of The Athletic reporting that Wizards All-Star guard Bradley Beal, who had a full no-trade clause in his contract, chose the Suns over the Bucks, Heat, and Kings. Suns and Wizards finalizing a complex multiplayer deal that will send Beal to Phoenix to play with Kevin Durant.
All right. Stars keep joining the stars. Don't like that very much, but I guess it is what it is. Thanks, Greg. It's 5:38 at WTMJ.
This report's sponsored by Mr. Holland's Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit MrHollandsHeatingandAir.com.
Mr. Holland's Home Services presents things that are exceptionally rare. The 1909 Honus Wagner baseball card, a 1937 three-legged buffalo nickel, a 4K photograph of Sasquatch, and service companies that show up on time. Now, Mr. Holland's crew can't help with antique trading cards and uncommon coinage, but we do take pride in being on time. We know that your time is more valuable than a mint 78 Skywalker action figure, so we strive to be punctual and productive. A home service company that cares about your time. Now that's rarer than an uncooked steak. Is it time for a new air conditioner, tankless water heater, or a whole house backup generator? There's no time like the present for some practical proactivity. 866-992-1717. Or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. If you're looking for service that's as rare as hen's teeth, we can help.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
It is Juneteenth Day. A lot of people are off today, and there were a lot of celebrations that took place in Milwaukee. There was a big parade, there were parties, community came together. And then at 4:20 this afternoon, there were reports that shots were fired near the area, the main area of the celebration at MLK and Chambers. And so police responded. Many of them were already there, and they responded. And now Fox 6 is reporting that multiple people were shot. And we're going to get you the latest on that coming up in just a minute. Let's get to Kristen Kershane, who is with us from TMJ4 News. What a beautiful Father's Day weekend.
Oh, it was so nice, and the nice weather continued today, and looks like it's going to continue for the rest of the week here.
Yeah, wow. So it was so beautiful. What was it, about 80 degrees the last couple of days? My question is, how close is that to average?
Very close. Yeah, we were really close to average. It was a little bit cooler on Sunday than it was on Saturday, actually. Average high for this point in June would be in the upper 70s. So very, very close, and we'll stay close as we move through this week. Although, if you're away from Lake Michigan and you go inland this week, it's going to turn hot. Temperatures, even today, we're in the mid-80s inland, but I think by the end of the week, inland communities are looking at highs around 90.
Wow.
And so that's going to feel pretty warm. It will be cooler and more comfortable close to the lake. We'll have an easterly wind flow all week long, and so that means those winds are going to come over Lake Michigan and help to keep things just a little cooler close to the lake. As Summerfest gets going later this week, I think it's going to be really nice. It's going to feel really good.
Kristen, it sounds like we're going to need to use the sprinkler in the water cans, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is the only downside to this very, very nice stretch of weather that we've got, is we desperately need some rain, and we're not going to get it as we move through this week. There is just the smallest chance that maybe by Thursday or Friday there's an isolated pop-up shower, but that's not going to help most of us. The better chance for rain does look like it comes towards the end of the 7-day period, which would be like Sunday into Monday, maybe into Tuesday. It does look like we could see some showers along with some thunderstorms. But I was doing some digging into the numbers over the weekend, and what's happened is that we ended up below average for rainfall in the month of April. We ended up well below average for rainfall during the month of May. And for June, up until today, we're about 1.5 inches behind for the month of June. So that cumulative deficit, as far as the rainfall, is now approaching about 6 inches. So that's how much rain we would need to see at this point to break out of this drought. And so that's why we're in the moderate drought, and we're really seeing and feeling the effects of that drought.
All right, so please lead us through tonight and the next several days.
Okay, tonight we do have an air quality alert in effect until 11 p.m. So if you fall into that sensitive groups range, anybody with lung issues, elderly, and young children, you're going to want to limit the amount of time that you spend outdoors. Otherwise, clear skies tonight with lows around 60 degrees. Plenty of sunshine on Tuesday, highs in the upper 70s lakeside, mid-80s inland. Mostly sunny Wednesday. Very similar. I'm going to sound like a broken record here. Upper 70s on Wednesday near the lake. Mid to upper 80s inland. Mostly sunny on Thursday, upper 70s lakeside, upper 80s inland. Friday, partly cloudy, upper 70s by the lake, near 90 inland. And as we kick off the weekend, partly cloudy, highs in the low 80s by the lake, around 90 inland.
All right, meteorologist Kristen Kershane, thank you so much.
Thanks.
It is 5:43 at WTMJ. Before we get to 6 o'clock, a little Honor Flight Magic, a very special story involving an almost 100-year-old World War II vet. That's up next on WTMJ.
Did you know just one blood donation can save up to 3 people's lives? Hi, WTMJ Sandy Max here. Please join me and our WTMJ Cares initiative to donate blood to those who need it the most. Join us on June 26th, 27th, and 28th as we partner with the American Red Cross and Gruber Law Offices for a blood drive at the Milwaukee County Zoo. Visit WTMJ.com or text BLOOD to 855-616-1620. You can make a difference with WTMJ Cares and me, Sandy Max.
Thank you, Sandy. Well, the year is almost half over, and you are still dealing with that pain in your knee or hip, right? Enough is enough. Forget about that. No more pills, no surgery. Certainly not the answer. Time to make a call to QC Kinetics. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. That means it can do all those fun summer activities that you used to enjoy, stuff you've had to put on hold. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joints. That means your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. And the treatment is revolutionary. It's also right here in Milwaukee for you. Patients across America are having life-changing results. No drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. So if you have pain in your knees, your back, your shoulders, your hips, doesn't really seem to be going away, forget what you're doing. Give a call to QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Give them a call, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Rose Gray here from Fox World Travel. I'm often asked, when is the best time to book all-inclusive winter getaways? Well, my friends, it is in summer. Do yourself a favor and get your vacation on the calendar now. And guess what? This July, Fox World Travel is once again partnering with Apple Vacations for the nation's largest exclusive early booking sale. We'll have exclusive resort deals you won't find anywhere else and the nonstop flights to get you to Mexico and the Caribbean. Our expert advisors save you time. The sale saves you money. Plus the best price guarantee and cancel for any reason insurance. Why not check the box and get your vacation on the calendar? Call a travel advisor now to get on the list before the sale starts. In anticipation of our upcoming sale, Fox World Travel and Apple Vacations are giving away a trip for two to Dreams Riviera Cancun Resort and Spa. Boy, is it incredible. Visit foxworldtravel.com and enter for a chance to win by June 30th. Visit foxworldtravel.com. Good luck.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Traffic and weather. All right, Deb, how we doing?
Well, we do have an accident now. It's a new one. This one is on the off-ramp from 94 eastbound to 68th 70th Street, that area. It's off on the right shoulder, so just be very careful as you're heading through there. Right now, we are looking at about a 9-minute ride from the zoo into downtown. We've also got 41 southbound at about 17 minutes to make it from Highway Q to the zoo, so that adds about 3 minutes. Most of that happening between Hampton Avenue and Burleigh. We've also got southbound 43, which has been pretty much brutal all afternoon. You're looking at 26 minutes Brown Deer Road to the Marquette, a 15-minute backup. Delays start at Good Hope Road, and they stretch all the way down past Locust. And don't forget, you could be your eyes on the road. You can report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low 60. Tomorrow, sunny skies, a high of 84. Wednesday, sunny, 84. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 83 degrees. And on Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 83 degrees. In Milwaukee right now, it's 74 degrees. So the breaking news this afternoon is that as the Juneteenth Day celebrations were winding down in Milwaukee, vendors were literally packing up. Street sweepers were literally in the road where the celebrations had taken place, and people were going home. An argument apparently broke out, and gunshots rang out. Multiple reports now saying that several people, maybe as many as 5, were shot near Chambers and Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Multiple ambulances rolled in there. Police who are already in the area, kind of doing traffic and actually enjoying the celebrations, sprung into action. More police officers were deployed on bikes and on horses, on motorcycles, and in SUVs. They rolled up. And now, instead of Miss Juneteenth with her little sash handing out candy, there is yellow police tape around trees and light posts as a shooting is being investigated. We'll keep you updated on this. Best way is to check out the WTMJ mobile app. Get that. I get my news that way all the time. Or WTMJ.com. We'll keep you updated. It is 5:49. So as you know, I'm on the board of directors for Stars and Stripes Honor Flight. And all the time on the board, we talk about Honor Flight magic. Things that are just magical and special for our veterans and their families that happen that are really hard to explain. I want to tell you this amazing story that happened. There was an honor flight this past Saturday, 65 veterans and their guardians. We flew them to Washington, D.C. early in the morning. So at the last minute, I say the last minute, within inside about a week of the flight, a World War II veteran decided to go on the flight. Our president, Karen Relke, had been trying to get this veteran on a flight for a very long time, and they're humble and they're reluctant, and finally he decided to go. So a 99-year-old, actually closer to 100, he's almost 100, decided to go on the flight, and he's well enough to go on the flight. This guy has been around so long and had such a blessed life that he's outlived most of his family. His wife is gone, his children are gone, his brothers and sisters are gone. It's just him. I'm going to use the name Gary because I want to protect his privacy. So Gary's it. Gary goes on the flight. Gary knows that he has a granddaughter that he hasn't seen in over 50 years. At the same exact moment that we're planning to take Gary on the flight, unbeknownst to any of us or to Gary, his granddaughter, who I'll call Jenny, is looking for Grandpa. Through a series of weird family events, she has not been in touch with him for a very long time and doesn't know where he is. And she lives on the East Coast. So Jenny is looking desperately for her grandpa that she knows she has and doesn't even know if he's alive and probably thinks it's a long shot because he's almost 100. But she needs closure and she wants to track down Grandpa, or at least Grandpa's story, she believes. So she's searching. She hires a private investigator. It gets to be Wednesday, a couple days before the flight. And one of the things we do on the honor flight is we collect love letters from family members that we give to the veteran. I love you. Thank you for your service. I'm proud of you. You know, that sort of thing. So because this guy doesn't have family, we don't have a nice stash of letters to give to him. So what we do on these situations is on our Honor Flight Facebook page and social media platforms, we put out the call. We're taking Gary, a 99-year-old World War II vet. If you would like to send him some support, write a letter and we'll get it to him, and we collect the letters. The private investigator hired by Jenny, the granddaughter, is working his butt off and sees on our social media post Gary's name and calls up Jenny and says, "Oh my gosh, I think I found your grandfather." And I think he's going on an honor flight out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin and coming to Washington, D.C. And Jenny, are you sure it's my grandpa? I think it is. It's everything you described to me. So Jenny, the granddaughter, gets in touch with us and says, "Is it okay if when you land in Washington, D.C., I meet my grandpa?" And of course, we say, "Oh my, absolutely, if he's open to it." So we fly out to Washington, D.C., and we get off the airplane, and we get on the buses. We are on beautiful buses all day with our heroes as we tour them around the Capitol. And Jenny decided to meet her grandpa at the Lincoln Memorial, which is where we make one of our stops. So we get off the airplane, and Gary's having a really good day. He's 99 years old and doesn't have any family that he's aware of. Jenny shows up at the Lincoln Memorial, and we get off the bus, and we wheel Gary, who's in a wheelchair, around the corner, and Jenny is there. And she hasn't seen her grandpa since she was 3 years old, and she's now 55. Gary doesn't know that his granddaughter is even alive. Thinks he has no family left, just hasn't talked to her at all. And this moment where they met and they came together was absolutely unbelievably incredible, raw, tender. A guy almost 100 years old who thought he had just himself in the last days of his life has a loving, doting granddaughter who showed up with her husband there to welcome him, to hug him, to just say, "I love you and I'm proud of you and I can do a little better than sending you a letter." And it was this incredible, magical moment. And there they were, standing on the mall where democracy was born, where the flags are flying that Gary fought for and under. And he's with his granddaughter, who he hadn't seen in over 50 years. It's just amazing.
Tears?
Oh, yeah, lots of tears. And not just for those two.
That's what I would figure. When you're witnessing something that intense and reconnective.
Yeah, honor flight magic.
Wow.
That just takes the whole experience to a different level, right? For those who are on honor flight, even some of the tough old veterans who say, "I know what this is all about."
Yep.
They come off the airplane just in tears, right? They're just so overcome with the day and the return. And then to add that,
amazing.
It just that is a year's worth of emotion packed into a 20-hour period.
Yeah. So I'm working on trying to get the granddaughter to come to Milwaukee and to hang out with Grandpa. And if that happens, we're going to be part of that.
That would
and
be
we're gonna
wonderful.
Bring that to you. The other weird coincidence, she's looking for Grandpa all over the place. She lives in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
So the private investigator says, "I found your grandpa, and he's flying here
He's
to
coming
your
to
hometown."
Yeah.
And so she was there.
Special delivery.
Yep, got a special
Careful
delivery
what you
for
wish
you.
for. Here it comes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a magical. That's a novel. Like, you can't make that up.
Yeah, isn't that incredible?
I mean, you can, but to know that that's powerful and real, and that the emotion rippled through everyone, and it's so hopeful.
Yep.
It's so unexpected and hopeful because there have to be other veterans who are listening, who have flown with you on the Stars and Stripes honor flight, who do feel that sense of loneliness and do feel like they, for as respected and honored and for what they've contributed to society, still feel that sense of loneliness. And wow, to know that tomorrow they could find out that they do have family members that love them and care of them and are looking for them.
Yeah, you're right. 5:56 at WTMJ.